HCTV Sports is supported by The Spool House. From prom to weddings, let us suit your formal wear needs. Culver's of Hastings. From savory butterburgers to sweet scoops of frozen custard, we've got something handcrafted for everyone.
Making the play. He gets the pin. Raiders are clawing their way back in this game.
Just snipes one.
It's over. Save. Oh my God!
Did you see that?
Great diving play.
He's hit a touchdown. Hastings Raiders win the ball game.
From McNamara Stadium at Todd Field, this is Hastings Raider football here on HCTV, and alongside the mailman, Owen Ely, I am Nick Tuckner, and we start the second half of the 2025 season tonight with two 2-2 teams in a rivalry battle, with Hastings meeting up with Two Rivers, formerly known as Henry Sibley, to some of you folks coming out to celebrate homecoming tonight with a little more, let's just say, seasoning beside them as they come in here asking, well, how's Sibley doing? Well, Sibley, or as we say now, the Two Rivers Warriors, still called the Warriors, 2-2, same as the Raiders. Both teams actually, Owen, very similar to one another. They played some teams kind of similar size, kind of like we have this year. They've had some trials, some tribulations, and some triumphs as well. As you look at the Raider schedule here so far, the 2 wins right out the chute got very excited, beating New Prague here at home and come from behind fashion 20-17, and then going to Jefferson, putting up a season high 48 in their 48-19 thrashing of the Jaguars, and then 2 tough games. The Chaska game, the score doesn't it really tell the whole story of that one. Raiders really played well in that one, especially in the second half. And then going to Apple Valley last week, losing 45-28. Just a weird game with all the stoppages and everything else. Raiders were in it. They were there. They were hanging around right there at halftime. But Apple Valley, and they had a guy go for 5 touchdowns. Not much you can do about that, sir. And as we welcome you back in, Week 5, here we are, second half. It begins. We got to start it off on the right foot, maybe get a couple of wins like we did to start the season.
No question. I think this is the most important game of the season for Hastings. It's the first game of the second half. It's your homecoming.
Yep.
You get up to that ferocious start, and then you drop 2. That's what makes this game so compelling. It seems like these 2 teams, obviously, they're just right next to each other in the QRF. I mean, it feels like they're 2 sides of the same coin here. I mean, we've seen flashes from Two Rivers. You can see Spring Lake Park is a good team. They played them close, and then a nice win at Sibley. Common opponent there with Apple Valley, and then they lost a close one to Burnsville. So they've been in close games too, like you said with us. You know, the score is not indicative for us of some of those games. The Chaska game, the game last week against Apple Valley, it was, I think, a 3-point game at halftime. It was really later on when all the stoppages, like you were saying, kind of made that game go a little wonky from a Raiders perspective. But I think we're in for a really fun one here, and the crowd here is going to ensure that.
It's homecoming 2025, so very festive, and as for all of you that know out there that are watching on the Hastings side of the river, I'm a 99 Hastings grad, so of course every year for homecoming for me, and coming back, seeing a lot of folks that I have known and either played with, and now kind of sharing that with my son, who's 11 going on 12, and he's really starting to dig this as well. He's around here somewhere probably with all of his friends, and I know there's a lot of blue and gold out there tonight that are just excited for this rivalry battle. As we're set to kick it away, here is Two Rivers, their white, red, and real Vegas gold. And here's a line drive kickoff to start things off. And this will be taken by Carter Herman O'Brien up the middle, right side, comes back, and he finds some room left as he gets in to the logo right around the 45. And we've seen it this year. Special teams can even win you a game. And right there, getting that kind of field position for the ball, as you see Carter just blast through there. We need more of that tonight on special teams.
No question. You saw it in that game on the road with that Birkin return for a touchdown. They need this. You know, this Raiders team has been a little inconsistent, so when you get a hot start like this, you hope they can start to build a lead.
The Raiders want to find a little more foundation, kind of found it in their game against Bloomington Jefferson. Raiders with a lot of motion along the line. We've seen this throughout the year, maybe more of a tight formation than the past. No spread anymore here as the handoff will go to Zach Shattuck, better known as Shady by all who love him, and he'll get 4 on the right side. Shady needed 40-some-odd yards here coming into this one, right around 46, 45 yards to hit the 1,000-yard mark, and that being his 5th game as we take a peek here at just those long strides. Even though in short, choppy fashion, he just gets it done, always seems to find those positive yards.
He really just is the high school version of Shady LaShawn McCoy.
Right? I wonder if I'm going to ask Mom and Dad if that's part of Shady, maybe. I'm not sure, but here's a pitch out. Shady's gone up the right side, back to the middle, and he is to the house. 6-0 Hastings. Zach Shattuck goes over 1,000 yards on that very run, and that's how you start homecoming in Hastings.
Well, you said it there, partner. I mean, you could not start it any better. The great kick return, and then a 52-yard rushing touchdown here from Shattuck. You could tell that was a touchdown even when he was in the backfield, just based on the spacing of Two Rivers defense, based on the blocking assignments. You could tell he could have scored to the outside, to the inside. He has his pick of the litter when he runs the ball.
If I was on the radio, I probably would have sold you that he was gone at about the 40, but when he cut back left, I thought, well, maybe he's not. No, he's not. He's gone. He's out of here, and the Raiders will attempt the extra point, and they get it through there. Whoever puts it in, and we are at 7-0 early. Exactly how you want to start if you get the ball. Now the Raiders, we know, Owen, you and I have been with each other many games where the Raiders and Coach Strain, they love to send their defense out first, not just to get the ball in the second half, but to set a defensive precedent, as we see Shattuck right there. And as we said, 9:52 coming into this game here at 11 touchdowns. Now you go over 1,000, give him 12. And like I was talking with Trey Lauer earlier on here before the game, I mean, this is a special season. He's watched football on the East Coast when it comes to kids in high school. We've seen this stuff in the upper Midwest. He's one of the best so far that we've seen, and he's still got another year.
Win, lose, or draw for Hastings. I mean, he's just been incredible this year. I mean, it's incredible what he can do with a single carry. It's crazy that he can keep up this production at the volume of carries they give him. And he's just such a special player. I mean, you're really excited not just about this year, but next year and potentially even college for Shattuck.
Man, Shady has so many similarities, as I've mentioned in past broadcasts, to Jared Stewart from the early 2000s, but I hate to break it to Jared, but Shady's even better. Here's a nice break right side on the kickoff, and another good special teams play, this time by the Warriors as they get out to the 47-yard line, and everybody on Town Square Television just north and west of us is liking that, as now Two Rivers gets out near the midfield stripe, and it's Lagerman who didn't play the first 4 games, so they get a weapon back in the lineup. And yeah, here we go now as we get some of their premier players on a great return.
36-yard.
He hit 3 spins in a row. I've only ever seen that in Madden or a college football video game. I mean, that's quite a return there for Lagerman.
I saw Lagerman play as a freshman. He didn't even have a number or a name on the roster, and he made a huge impact, and we knew who Johnny Lagerman was after that game 3 or so years ago. Two Rivers, Altavilla will start again at quarterback, same as last year, and the handoff will go up the right side, carried there by Delfino Mancha. And again, he was also part of this team 1 year ago, so they have some stability and leadership too, especially on the offensive side.
Oh, no question. That's such an advantage at the high school level as we see Delfino Mancha's stats there. I mean, it's really a running back group by committee,
right,
and they're all pretty efficient in their own right, but that continuity is so important. You know, with Hastings for so long turning over quarterback year after year, sometimes that's just how it goes, but you can't help but wonder if they would have had some continuity, how that would have played out.
A lot of motion, very similar to Hastings, as now Two Rivers left to right. Will settle under center with Altavilla. He'll fake the handoff right. Instead, want to pass left. Puts up a good one. He's got Lagerman wide open. He catches that one, and he's to the races, and he's into the end zone. And look at this. It's already a track meet, 7-6. And we're less than 2 minutes into this game. Johnny Lagerman in his first game back to start the season. He's into the end zone with a 54-yard touchdown. And they match big plays here early on, Owen.
Well, we kind of had an inclination before the game based on how the last few games for Two Rivers and Hastings have gone that this was maybe going to be a shootout. And boy, I mean, we're 2 minutes in and we got 13 points, 14 pending. I mean, I think we're in for a good one here. It might be a heartbreak of a game to watch, just going back and forth. But this is a fun start to the game here.
I don't have enough medication for this game, I don't think, tonight. Jack Pick will come in. Right-footed booter wears the number 22. Good snap, good spot, good kick. We're tied at 7. And yeah, points abound early on here as Pick puts it through. Pick's kick. I love the rhyming as we take a look at a big play here. And the Raiders secondary is going to have the button down here. And look who was back there even. You had Shady back there playing in the secondary. And they even found a way to get past 26. So this is going to be interesting tonight to see how the Raiders will try to find a matchup that works with Johnny Lagerman on the outside.
Yeah, you're totally right there. I mean, he was open by about 20 yards, which is just a massive blown coverage. I mean, you wonder if they can't harken back to some of the teams a few years ago where they would play, those two high safeties, and yeah, they might give up a little underneath, but they were really good historically over the last few years about kind of limiting those big plays. At least if you were going to get those big plays, you were going to have to break a tackle or two, but you weren't going to go over the top of the Raiders' defense, and obviously there was some sort of miscommunication there. We'll see how they can fix this going forward.
I know, for years, that's always been the calling card of Coach Dana Strain is if you're going to score points, you're going to have to go 16 plays, 89 yards, and eat, half the clock in the first half. I mean, that's what the Raiders need to kind of get back to. They're going to work on it here as they're at a 7-7 ball game, returned here by Shady. From the 5 and around, giving up the right side. Raiders get razzle-dazzle. Matt Foss has some room, 30, 35, 40 out of bounds. Okay, let's have some fun too while we're at it. So not only have we had some big plays, even on special teams, but now we get fancy as well. And this is starting to turn into a football expo for any kids that want to learn anything about playing in high school football, even having a little bit of the razzle-dazzle fun too, O-Dog.
Well, I was wondering why they started the game with 3 kick returners, and that was obviously what they were thinking is maybe trying to get somebody on a reverse. Yep. Typically you see them with the 2 returners back there, but this is an excellent start. I don't mean to interrupt you. I was wondering where the xylophone is coming from. We got
it's over it's over on the left side. So
it's behind us right there.
Oh, are they playing it back there? Oh, they're just getting you were right. They're behind us. I kept thinking we were hearing the band from over on the left side. Oh, that's going to be motion against the Two Rivers Warriors encroachment. Man in the neutral zone, something of the which you will see 2 hands on the hips here in just a moment, I believe. And the Raiders should get 5 yards back, but now a little bit of a longer conversation for something on the line. Usually it's pretty cut and dry if you have a motion penalty. Friday night, just a gorgeous Friday. I mean, for week 5, you're going to have weather you could pick out of a hat or just draw it up yourself. It would be this. Sun now just going over the trees, making it absolutely the most perfect fall night. And one thing, too, that I wanted to point out to people, there's been years where we've been here week 5 and all the foliage has been turned. Everything right now, you don't have any of that color yet, which is kind of interesting. So hopefully we'll have some nice late fall colors in Hastings, as yes, offsides was the call. 1st and 5 Raiders. They'll go I formation here. And Burke in the blocking back as Shady gets it right side, and he's very close to a first down in the midfield strike. Might be just short, but we're going to have to find out where that side judge gives Shady the mark. But I think he might be just a little bit short. Boy, they really put him back a little further than I thought. I thought it was a little closer to the stick there.
Yeah, I mean, admittedly, it's sort of tough to see we're on the opposite side, but, I mean, that probably, from my estimation, is probably a yard, or maybe some change short.
But when you got weapons like the Raiders do offensively, 2nd and 3 might not seem so daunting. Handoff again from Hansen will go into the hands of Shady Shattuck, and he is hit at the line, if not thrown back a half a yard. He doesn't lose many yards on any carries, but a great defensive play here, just getting into the backfield. That initial penetration so important when it comes to stopping a wonderful back like Shady Shattuck and Jaden Kinsel Arredondo, a 5'11 linebacker, senior season. He comes in to make a big pop there, 3rd down and 5.
And I don't want to jinx it, but seeing a negative Shattuck run, I mean, that's like seeing a unicorn. I mean, you could count on for sure
right.
On one hand how many you've seen this year. You don't see it very often.
Even last week in a loss, Shady just lit it up on the ground. Hanson to pass, left side. Where is he throwing that? To Two Rivers. Right off the bat, you can kind of tell from where we were standing that was doomed from the start. On the pass play there, intercepted by Cole Altavilla. Okay, so Raiders will give it back to the Warriors. A little gift on homecoming for the road team. And now here they are with another short field and an opportunity to take a lead perhaps on this offensive drive. But how many drives we had here so far? We're only 2 minutes, not even 3 minutes, I should say, into this game.
Yeah, this is a frantic pace. You just hope this is an inflection point for Hastings. You hope that this isn't the start of a negative downturn for Hastings.
Handoff goes to the right side. Finding some room, Mancha. It gets pushed out of bounds, short of a first down. As we go under that 9 minute to play mark, this one might be a long ball game tonight, folks. As the Raiders in their home blues on homecoming look to provide the home fans a little fun here. Of course, the dance will be tomorrow. As you look at Mancha shake and bake right side. Gets a nice first down carry there for Two Rivers as they put some guys in motion. Now this time to the far side of the field as you guys watch. And Altavilla out of the gun. He'll pass. That's tipped. Raiders had a guy coming in there from the far right side there, Landon Johnson. Beisel was also in the vicinity. I'll tell you what, if that might have got tipped and hauled up, Beisel was there, and he had a whole bunch of field right side. So, again, Raiders are in the right spot at the right time. Might not necessarily make an interception, but right now, after giving up the big one to Lagerman, Raiders are seemingly finding themselves now a little bit defensively.
Well, if that wasn't tipped, I'm fairly certain Lagerman would have taken that one back for a touchdown. They're at the 46-yard line. That would have been his second 54-yard touchdown in the first 3 minutes.
All right, guys, let's tighten up again. Do it again. 3rd down and 1. Altavilla sneaks, and the little QB will get it. Raiders got him to fumble it. They were stripping it the whole time, and they got it out of there as Altavilla wanted those extra yards instead of taking the first down. The Raiders were in there just horsing that ball out, and they're going to get it. It's Carter Herman O'Brien who comes away with the football, and Henry Sims, I should say Two Rivers, I'm going to say it all night, pleading with the officials, Coach Orth on the field even, as we see it though that came out. He was not down yet. Carter Herman O'Brien with the recovery for the Raiders, so now the teams trade turnovers after trading quick touchdowns, and this game has already gone goofy on a homecoming Friday.
Yeah, it's almost like it's Friday the 13th or something. I mean, it is, that's the danger in trying to get those extra yards.
Halloween is coming. If anybody's been to my place, you probably know that already because the wife and son have been very much in the decorative mood for Pumpkin Day. 8:28 to go here, first quarter. Anton Field, right side. Shattuck finds room, has a seam right. Now across midfield to the 40. He breaks another tackle, bulldozes another guy, gets down to about the 34-yard line of Two Rivers. And Shady says, just give me the football, we'll get a first down. And he does just that. And with 8:17 to go here in the first quarter, the Raiders in business, and they're also into Two Rivers territory.
I gotta say, that's the least surprising thing anybody's told me, that you guys would celebrate Halloween this early. But
oh yeah, no, just wait till the day after Halloween when Christmas hits.
Oh, I'm sure. Sometimes I watch Shattuck, and I'm just amazed that he only averages 8.6 yards per carry. When you see runs like that, you're kind of amazed.
And here's Owen us up here saying only, but we've been spoiled. And here's Shady slipping away from one tackle, couldn't get away from the second one. Is that big mass of humanity? And I'll tell you, Thomas Beckett's a big fella, 6'4", 210. He looks all the part, too. That kid looks like a football player. He makes a great stop here on Shady, just trying to get out of the left side, but spun out of that first tackle. But man, oh man, what a nice grab of a great running back in the backfield.
Even though they have been carved up a little bit here by Shattuck, they have done a good job on a handful of these plays of getting contact behind the line of scrimmage on Shattuck, which not a lot of teams have done.
I appreciate you saying that. That was something, too, that I had seen just a little bit ago myself as Hansen right side now opens it up on the right side for a screen that was wide open. Just the pass was much more to be desired here as Carter Lundstrom had an opportunity, and he would have had a first down, I would think, with plenty of green space in front of him. So that one doesn't work. It's going to be third and fairly long, but this also could be 4-down territory. Let's find out here as we look at, it looks like just kind of airmailed it just a little bit, Owen.
It maybe might have been tipped at the line of scrimmage ever so slightly, which could have accounted for that, but it's hard to tell on that replay.
7:10 to go, slow-moving first quarter. Each team's had a turnover, each team's had a touchdown, each team's had some big plays. It's been pretty fun. And here's a fake on the pitch instead, inside jet sweep. It's going to be given to Haig, and he's not going to go anywhere. Got too cute that time. And the Raiders will lose a yard or two on third down. Now it's fourth down. And man, I mean, yeah, it's 4-down territory here, but you can also chip punt one down into the corner and put your defense out there. But I know, like we said earlier, this thing could be a track meet. Do you want necessarily the defense back on the field yet? So this is decision time for Coach Strain, and it looks like Coach Cook is sending Hansen back onto the field.
Yeah, I really like the idea of trying to draw attention with Shattuck and go in the opposite direction, but didn't work there, and now this is a tricky situation here for Hastings.
The motion, 4 men in motion to an I. Shattuck the tailback, fourth down. The handoff is to Birkin. He looked like he was a throw. Instead, he cuts back left. Is he going to get a first? No, he's not. He's going to be just short. Interesting play. It was kind of a little bit more of a delayed handoff, and then Birkin goes right and then cuts back into the middle and runs it. Oh, he almost dropped it too. And yeah, just kind of up the middle. Interesting, but it almost worked. It's going to be a turnover on downs just short about 1.5 yards. So I'll give it back.
Well, you know what's interesting? You know, sometimes you see quarterbacks, they throw up the ball in that area, and if they throw an interception, well, it was just an arm punt.
Right.
But I've never seen a run punt like that. I mean,
that was exactly a run punt here on homecoming. Is a lot of blue and gold continuing to even filter into the doors here with 6:14 to go first quarter in a 7-7 game with these two rivals going at it. Same conference, but again, districts are a little weird now. Play them a lot in hockey and soccer, baseball, and everything else. Here is Altavilla, puts one up Lagerman, and that's incomplete. Oh my, they're really trying to go to number 10 here, as we've seen him for 3 years already make big impact plays, and now here in his senior season nearly making another up over the middle, and Altavilla's put some nice air on footballs here so far, as that one was right there, and unfortunately Lagerman couldn't make a play on it, and there was, 3, 4, 5 Raiders all there. We're going to need everything on 10 tonight.
Oh, no question. That tells you how much confidence they have in Lagerman. And Altavilla is so calm in the pocket there. I mean, just throwing a beautiful pass, but I think we're going to have to watch out for number 10 here.
Shotgun here for Altavilla. Second down, 10 yards to go. Ball to 25 of the Warriors. They're going to hand it off out left side to Lagerman, and he'll get pushed out of bounds after a gain of 4. Raiders had a man there, too. That was Nathaniel Adricula. And he's made some nice plays. He's kind of been a Swiss Army knife for the Raiders this year. Done some returning, done a little bit of defense, ran the ball a few times. And they love having guys like that because you never know, eventually for him, with him being only a sophomore, you're going to find more varsity time. It's just where can we put you, and to have that Swiss Army knife type of attitude, that's going to be huge for him the next 2 years. Altavilla, 3 receivers wide to the right side. His pass in the flats, caught. Not enough for a first down as the grab made there by Rory Schuler, another kid that's been around for 2 or 3 years for this team, and Coach Tom Orth, veteran coach. He and Coach Strain have known each other and gone to war pretty much every year since Coach Strain arrived. Fourth down, 1 yard to go here. Now a big play for the Raider defense. And we saw earlier the sneak by Altavilla. He ended up losing the football on that sneak, trying to fight for a few extra yards. Here we go under center. 2 receivers left. Single back, 1 wing off the left side. Handoff in the backfield. The Raiders had him too. Did they still bottle him up? I don't know. He might have gotten the first down. This is forward progress. He got the first down. Yep. Just enough fighting to get through there.
That's tough. You know, sometimes they say, you know, the logic behind play calling is you want to make play calls that would make the opposing team nervous. And if it makes the team nervous, you probably should do it. That made me pretty nervous there. I mean, that would have set you up with fantastic field position if you were at Hastings, but sometimes the cookie just crumbles your way.
Arredondo, more of the power back. You talk about Mancha, kind of more slippery, the Alvin Kamara type of runner of the two boys. And right there, Arredondo kind of showing the toughness. He plays linebacker on the defensive side, too, you know, always willing to get a little bit dirty. We're going to get a timeout here, which will give us time to talk about one of our fantastic supporters of sports here on Hastings Community Television. And we can't do it without our awesome supporters and, of course, you out there watching, which is also very important. So we will definitely talk about the Spool House. From prom to weddings, let us suit your formal wear needs. For more information, it's available at thespoolhouse.com/sewing. And, of course, Culver's of Hastings, one of our fine supporters. From savory butter burgers to sweet scoops of frozen custard, we've got something handcrafted for everyone, and you can visit us at our location next to Cub Foods in Hastings. Nick Tucker, the mailman Owen Ely, Friday night, homecoming, beautiful night here, maybe the best of the year, and why not have it be on homecoming Friday night? We've all been to quite a few games here on homecoming Friday night that haven't been as nice. Raiders now defensively, first down. Two Rivers on the 36, their own, out of the gun. Altavilla left hash. He looks to pass right. He's got a man wide open. It's caught. Caught for a gain of about 7 yards. Nice tackle there by Ashton Arnis, who also is putting his leg in the talks of all-district punter. Is a nice grab there by Michaels, but perfect tackle there. Arnis wraps him up. You know, makes sure he gets a firm tackle, and that's going to take care of business every time.
Yeah, Altavilla, 59% completion percentage on the season, which is actually rather high for high school football.
Yes.
And you can just see it, you know, take phase here in the game.
He has a very systematic delivery of the football that looks effortless. Ball's out! Ball's out! Ball's out! Flags on the field. What's going on? Ball's out. Flags. All sorts of business. Coaches on each side jumping up, taking their headsets off. Face mask against the wrong team. Raiders will be backed up. Well, I should say first down.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I saw anything.
I don't either. I don't either. Oh, that was kind of a not a homecoming call, we'll just say. 3:43 to go and a fairly pedestrian on the clock first quarter. So the first down, 15-yard penalty, all that goofy business will give the Warriors the football in Raider territory, called the 42.
First down, Warriors
Near the
Raider 42.
Kind of the bandana near the ear of the pirate, if you want to draw it up in your head. If you're listening, rolling around town on YouTube, or watching along. Here's the handoff. This time Raiders will bottle him up, put him down on the turf. Arredondo not finding much right side. Raiders really throughout the season with those power type of backs. We saw it early on against New Prague. Took some time, but once they figured out the running style, figured out they weren't going to get to the outside too much, you made a couple of halftime adjustments and bottled them up. Early on, the Raiders have studied tape, obviously, on Arredondo and have been able to hang him really in check so far.
Barrett Boardman out of the game with an injury right there.
Oh, boy. We'll keep an eye on 33 in blue and gold. 33 also in motion here for Two Rivers. Altavilla rolling out, will run, and he will be close to a first down, close to a late hit. Raiders got to be careful. Carter Herman O'Brien in the vicinity. That will not be a first down, I don't think. It'll be third down and about 4. 2:40 to go here in the first quarters. We'll take a peek again. And Altavilla, even off his body, his offside, makes it look like he's going to throw all the time, because you say his effortless delivery, but the way he moves along with that makes him that much more dangerous.
I've been very encouraged by the Raiders. They've really been trying to strip the ball. You can see it on some of these tackles. They're trying to get an arm in there. Two forced fumbles already. I think it's going to continue that way for Hastings.
Out of the gun. Handoff right. Arredondo bottled up again by the Raiders. First penetration there from Carter Herman O'Brien. And then he's cleaned up by the tag team of Johnson and Kaysen Esterby as well. And Kaysen's played some great linebacker this year. He, again, kind of cerebral. He knows where he's supposed to be at all times. And right there, you see, just wrap him up. And again, textbook tackle. 4th down. Big play for the Raiders. They are going for it.
Boardman's back in the game.
Barrett Boardman back in. The astute eyes of the mailman, Owen Ely. 4 down linemen for the Raiders. Back to pass, quick drop, and that's incomplete. Moncho wide open. I should say Schuler wide open. He was thinking run before the catch. And you know that usually doesn't work out very good for that receiver, and that's exactly where Schuler's head was up the field before the ball even got there. Raiders get it back, and now the two teams each turn it over on downs. I mean, how similar has this game been on both sides of the football so far? Oh,
They both were scoring, and then they both were turning the ball over and getting stopped on 4th down. So, I mean, like we said, this is a very even matchup here, and it's really playing out on the field here.
You know, I think we always say, like, expect the unexpected when two teams. I mean, it's like with Hastings and Two Rivers, it's like, no, expect the expected. You kind of, what you hear before the game is probably what's going to happen. And so far, is exactly what we got. Handoff to Shady, spins away from one, spins into a tackle. Gains about 1, maybe 2, depending on if we got the left or the right foot spot. Under 2 minutes here, first quarters. We'll take a look at Shady again, eluding the first tackle, that spin move, but then he kind of spins right on top of the would-be tackler, but throw him ahead for a yard.
Yeah, sometimes those plays work in your favor because you're not technically down when you're sitting on top of a defender there, but sometimes it can set you up for a nice lick.
Nice lick for sure. You know what I think? A nice passing play might be able to connect here pretty soon. A lot of running here so far, and now on the run, there is Hansen. He had his man, Lundstrom, that same exact play we saw earlier down there, and it didn't connect. 3rd down and 9. So went back to the well with one they saw work, just didn't connect. Same thing happens on the same play and the same result. Unfortunately for Hastings, that'll bring up 3rd down and 9. And now here's Two Rivers trying to force maybe a punt in the Hastings end.
Well, it's so unfortunate because you need those passing plays to work to help assist Shattuck in the run game. And, you know, the first 2 or 3 games of the year, he's been really efficient at the rollouts. It's actually been a strength of Hansen, but he missed 2 here early on.
1:14 to go here in the first quarter. Back to pass. Hansen throws it out towards Hagen. Gains about 2, maybe 3. Not exactly the finish the Raiders wanted on 3rd down to this particular drive, as now the punting team will come out. As you look at Hansen, had his man open, just a lot of moving for not a whole lot of yardage, and that'll set up 4th down and now long 6 or so. Punt will be coming from right around the 30 or so when we get to that point. As Ashton Arnis, left-footed punter. He has punted very well throughout the season for Hastings. Kid can put some pretty good English on the ball, and I'm talking about a spiral. And a lot of times you hit that nose on the ground in the right spot, and Arnis has done that. Will add a lot more length to some of these punts. He's back, waits from the 27, boots it, got a little waggle to it. It's going to be taken at the 35, falling ahead to make the grab. Was Lagerman. Actually, no, that's not Lagerman. That is Cole Altavilla. 18 seconds left to go here in the first quarter of play on homecoming Friday night in Hastings on Hastings Community Television. Nick Tucker alongside Owen Ely. Raiders 7, Warriors 7. And hopefully this game will kind of get a little more flow. It seems like, you know, both teams running around kind of like the proverbial chicken with their head cut off. You know, you want to find a way to sew that head back up and get a little bit of moxie on your own side here and really get some consistency too.
It's a very choppy start.
Altavilla, left side running, looking, puts up a pass, caught. Gain of about 7 for Lamont Michaels. So 12 seconds to go here now in the first quarter. An 8-yard gain, says Manny Hill.
I don't think after the first 2 minutes I thought the score would still be 7-7.
Oh, no.
Here at the end of the first quarter.
No. I thought it'd probably be 24-23 right now already, and not the case. Handoff will go to Mancha. He'll get near midfield, just short. They're on the 48-yard line. Nice job, Arnis, again. Talk about jack of all trades tonight. Arnis has done that as well as Mancha. He gets a little step to the outside right and ends up getting a few. 5, obviously enough for the first down, and that should probably do it. You'd think you're... No. Yep, say wind the clock, right?
Yeah, I was unsure about the stoppage there.
Jose, and me too. Well, a wild, fast start for both teams. Special teams, also some defense show up. And we're through 1 quarter of play on Homecoming 2025 for the Hastings Raiders. And it's 7-7. We'll be back with your second quarter next on Hastings Community Television.
Today, 4 Minnesotans lost their lives from fentanyl poisoning, and 4 more will tomorrow. Fentanyl is the #1 killer in 18 to 45 year-olds. It's killing more and more 12 to 17-year-olds. They're people we care about.
Like my brother.
My sister. My best friend. We have the power to make a difference in our community. Join us in the fight against the fentanyl crisis.
Seven. Second quarter about to begin here on a beautiful night in Hastings. Glad you are with us. I am Nick Tucker alongside Owen Ely as we bring you week 5 of Minnesota high school football. Second half begins right here tonight as Altavilla fakes the handoff, passes right in short quarters, finds his man, and that one is caught by William Paper. 5'11", 200-pound bowling ball of a running back, and he makes a great catch and finishes it up with a first down.
And this is why they're so lethal passing the ball. I mean, they'll go for these deep shots. They'll go for these intermediary. They'll go for these check downs.
Yep.
You know, the Raiders, a lot of what they do anytime they're passing the ball, it's not just dropping back. It's a rollout looking to get somebody, running to the outside. They have such a diverse passing scheme for a high school team that it's kind of fun to watch. Maybe not so much if you're a Raiders fan.
No, but especially when they're in positive yards, it's like they're okay with 3 or 4 yards on a pass. As this handoff will get about 8 more here for Two Rivers as they're starting to get the ground game now going. Johnny Verdeja having a chance to run the football. Quick to the line. Again, Two Rivers. And the Raiders jumped. All right. Little messy start here to the second quarter with the flag here. And that is going to go against Hastings. And the Warriors fans letting the home team know that you can't do that.
I mean, you would think it's Two Rivers homecoming the way that they have all these fans there. I mean, they travel. I know it's not too far of a drive, but they travel well.
They show up. It doesn't matter what sport. It doesn't matter. I mean, the size of the crowd, they always show up. They're loud. They're fun. And we're glad to have them here for homecoming in a rivalry battle. Altavilla way under center there. And he'll pass out left side. Oh, man, finding an open player in Michaels. He'll get about 8 or so left side. I'll have to see where the spot is. Some whistles there after the play. It looks like there is laundry on the field, ladies and gentlemen. So let's see who this is against before we reset the football and give a game.
First down, Two Rivers.
White hat kind of in there saying, are you sure, boys?
Awful lot of discussion here.
It's a dead ball foul, and Raiders, guys, that's something that's controlling the controllables. You can control personal fouls. That's one that the coaching staff will talk about at halftime. You can't have that stuff, especially 15-yard penalties or half the distance, big half the distance penalties. Shooting yourself in the proverbial homecoming slipper.
Well, and especially not when they're, I mean, there's never a good time to take a penalty like that, but especially when they're driving in your own red zone. I mean, so avoidable. You just can't be doing stuff like that in a tight game.
You can help personal foul penalties. That's something you can control. Two receivers split out wide to the right. We need another corner over there. Finally, we got one. It's kind of like all Beisels that have come over there. Johnson hanging back.
And Two Rivers has some pretty big wide receivers for high school. I know the Raiders have some small corners they can tackle really well.
Right.
And they play their hearts out, but I mean there's a
jump ball
here.
A jump ball advantage on the side of the white, red, and real gold. Under center, Altavilla. Fake the handoff. He's got a lot of field right side. He will run and he'll take off. He goes for the end zone and scores. Altavilla in from 9. And again, the Warriors, they take the lead. This time, 13-7.
Yeah, we'll take another look at the touchdown here. You could tell he was really trying to pass the ball here, but a lane opened up, and not a very big one because he took a hit as he got in, but he got in, and I mean, that's just good field vision right there. He probably could have hit one of his receivers. Maybe he would have got in, maybe he wouldn't, but he saw the touchdown and took it.
He's got a little Baker Mayfield doing, doesn't he?
I was going to, maybe it's just because he's number 2.
I don't know, man.
But that looked very Johnny Manziel
right.
to me.
He plays the position well. Here's a snap, good, spot, good. The kick is wide left. That one, they're going to 61, too. That was a weird kick.
I think they might have hit a car.
I think it did. I heard something kind of smack, so the kick will fail. And that we'll see if that point might hang in the air here later on this evening. Every point matters when it comes to these two rivals matching up here. As you take a peek inside the Raider huddle here on special teams. And like we were saying, man, I mean, that drive really gained steam for Two Rivers down deep when that penalty came through. It gassed us a little bit, and it just seemed to kind of say, all right, go ahead and take it. And now here's the Warriors with a 6-point edge.
Yeah, you hate to see it. I mean, they probably could have still scored if they didn't have that 15-yarder there, but I mean, you just hate to have that be a part of the equation, knowing that it's totally avoidable. And that's 15 yards where anything could happen. That's 15 yards where a ball gets punched out. That's 15 yards where they get a false start, or I mean, you never know. But
the Raiders have popped the ball out with semi-regularity in this game already, recovering one of them. The other fumble the Raiders may have gotten or whatever, but it was a penalty anyway. Let's stop with the penalties too, by the way, Raider Nation. Let's get her done here. Get out of bounds. Kick the ball out of bounds. This will benefit the blue and gold boys.
We got some laundry on the field there.
Kick went out of bounds, so we'll get the ball. Does he want it again? Coach Strain's sending him back. He wants to get a try at it again.
That's so funny. I was so conditioned by the game to think it was a dead ball foul.
No, it was kind of funny because Coach Strain already had his mind made up that even with the procedure penalty, he says, well, let's move him back and make him do it again, because the three weapons we have back there along the back line hanging out with Matty Foss, Carter Herman O'Brien, and of course Shady. I'd match up those three guys with any of your speed demons any day of the week, and I think that our Raiders would probably find a way 9 times out of 10 to win a battle some way, somehow. We had a nice return earlier if you're a Raider fan, but as did Two Rivers.
It's a calculated risk for sure, but you like how it stacks up in your favor.
A Shady return to the house would be fun, but they don't want to even kick the ball to him, as Carter Herman O'Brien will get it at the 18, 20 to the 30, sidesteps a man, 40. There's a flag, and this is coming back anyway, no matter where we end up, which is actually at the 45 of Two Rivers, but it's going to be coming back with penalty flags right around the 30, near the same spot, and I think both officials saw the same exact play, and it looks like this time they're in agreement, and you and I just mentioned can't have penalties. That one an illegal use of the hands. They'll move them back, and the Raiders will start from deeper. And again, just things are going the wrong way down the stairs. We're not going up the stairs anymore. Now we're kind of drifting back down, and the Raiders got to find a way to stop that type of snowball from going downhill any further.
You know, Tuck, I feel so bad for Carter Herman O'Brien. I've never experienced this, but I got to imagine that feels so bad knowing you had a great return, but the penalty's behind you, you don't see it, you turn around to celebrate with your teammates, and everybody's just like, yeah, it's going back.
No, it's disheartening. It's a bummer. I mean, and again, that gets into the heads. They're kids. You know, whether they're upset about how the play happened or the penalty itself, you just got to get back in the huddle and rock and roll. And these guys have done a good job of that. They have the right coaches in place to hit the reset button with these boys whenever necessary. And the reset button here will send us right at the nose of the football. Manny said 19, but I see that on the line. That's on the 20. So you got 80 yards to go here. And the Raiders will send 4 in motion. There's Manny correcting himself. I didn't mean to correct you, Manny Hill. Here's the pitch out left side. Shattuck getting outside, has the edge. 25 to the 30, 35, 40, and he's out of bounds there. First down, Hastings, as he gains right about 20. And boy, you can almost say that with regularity. As you give him any space, if he can set up the side, the edge, find that edge, you get a first down every time.
If this field was just a yard wider, that's an 80-yard touchdown. I mean, he is so fast. It's got to be so tough as a defender trying to track him down because you want to cut him off, but you know he could cut back to the inside. But he's so fast that you don't have a lot of time. I mean, it's got to be a nightmare to be one of these guys in the secondary trying to stop Shattuck.
Here is Hansen pitching out to Shattuck. He gets wide, maybe a little too far wide, but he still bursts right up the middle, then cuts ahead. And with that cut, gains about 4, maybe 5. It's funny you're talking about extra yards side to side. Well, how about up in Canada? They're going to go to more of a USA form of field, going down for the 110-yard fields, which to me, as a young kid growing up watching football and CFL stuff, was goofy to me. And also with the weird end zones, the way those work, well, that's going by the wayside. It looks like the CFL is going to turn more into an NFL-esque league, if that means anything to anybody watching football right now.
It is not being well received. They do not
really?
They do not want to be the league down south.
Really?
I think it's all logical moves, but they love the distinct nature of the CFL. They're not fans of that.
I know Manny Hill and Ross Brendel have been to a CFL game before, as this handoff here, turning ahead Shady for 2. But they said it was just a cool experience, and I bet it would be, because that's something us Minnesotans probably would be a bucket list item as we take a peek here at Shady, just trying to squeak through there. But man, again, when you got a fella standing there waiting like Jaden Bender, who is 6'3", 225, and only a junior, we're going to have our hands full of him next year too. That'll be a fun battle to watch even next season, their senior year, with Shady running right into him. 8:45 to go. Second quarter, first half. Inside handoff, Hagan, and that play just hasn't gone anywhere here tonight for Hastings. They've tried to get Elliott involved on and off, and both times on third down, and both times have brought up fourth down, unfortunately. So now we're going to have to punt this thing away, and now the Raiders are falling into a little more of that snowball to which we were talking about, where it's getting a little bit bigger again. You had the Warriors up by a possession at 13-7. You thought maybe you can go back and tie it, maybe take the lead, but now here you go, give it back to the Warriors. And don't forget, they also get the ball to start the second half, so you got to start putting that equation into the whole formula.
Yeah, I don't know why that play's not working. In theory, it should, but they don't commit too much.
Arnis had to get it away fast. It was a bad snap, taken on a knee at the 30, and that was Cole Altavilla. So at the 30, that's where Two Rivers will start. 7:54 to go here. And again, not a lot of pace to this game. It was for the good, I thought, early, because we thought, well, maybe we will have a shootout and we can really get wild all night. Well, since we've gotten wild, it's kind of lulled us to sleep, and the Warriors have utilized that to their advantage, allowing no points here in the second quarter, and really a majority of the first quarter, too.
Well, something has to be done here, because the last defensive possession didn't go well for you. You would hate to go down 2 possessions, even early on in this game.
Watch for the left crosses from the Raiders. They may try to punch that thing out again. It's been working early on, and here's a great carry right up the middle by Flancha. And again, just a little dude, but man, when he gets that burst, if he can get through that initial line, get into that second level, he's dangerous right there. A nice 9-yard gain on first down.
And they have 2, 3, 4 different running backs that they can work their way into the game. You couple that with the passing game. I mean, this offense can really hum at times.
That was a collision too. You got 5'8", 240-pound junior Elijah Christopher right there to bang into him. Oh my! Here's a handoff. Flancha again got through that initial line, like we said. That's all he needed that time for the first down. Got a little extra as well. Graham Birkin comes in to wrap him up. Had some help from Caden Esterby as well, but the chains will move here. And the Warriors are approaching midfield again and making it look fairly quick, too.
They do have to be a little smarter about because this is just the reality of big player versus small player. When the play's kind of dead and you're still pushing and you're still tackling, they're going to call it on the big guy late and not the small guy. Another avoidable penalty.
In a hockey, too, how many times where the bigger guy going to the corner, he throws a nice body check, and just because he's bigger, he gets a penalty for it. And Flancha again runs right into the hands of Arnis, and he says, no way, you can have those 2 yards. That's it, pal. And Arnis really, again, I mean, this is another game where that young man, if you don't say his name a whole lot, you know he's doing his job. But tonight he's doing a lot of his job, and that's why we're pointing him out so much. But nice tackle on a kid that, boy, when he gets that second step, if you don't have a hold of him, he's going to make you pay. And right there, great tackle by Arnis. And his friends came in to help. That was a great tackle by the boys.
The Raiders' defense in recent years, they've never really had a game breaker, but they just have so many players that are just, quiet contributors that all kind of form, a solid defense when it's all going good, and he's kind of the embodiment of that.
That's what we have. Great teams. Flag on the play, pass right side, incomplete through the hands of the awaiting receiver. That was William Paper, but we're going to have to see who this flag is on. It might have been that the receiver did not set on the edge of the line near side. I think he didn't cover up the line there, far side or near side of the line. We're going to have to see here. Yeah, Dana's going to go ahead and decline this penalty and bring up third down. Yeah, procedure. So he didn't check in with the near side judge. Left the left tackle uncovered, and that will give you an illegal procedure penalty. And Dana says, we're going to go ahead and make them do it again, but at a down, 3rd and 7, still at the 48-yard line. So a lot of faith here from Coach Strain saying, all right, boys, go get us the ball.
I mean, even if things haven't been going your way on the last drive, you still got to have faith in the defense that they can pull up something here.
Watch one of those short out passes for 5-6 yards, see if they can stretch into a first down. 3rd down here with a receiver to each side. Coach Orth, I think, was the one calling timeout far side, yeah. The veteran coach at Henry Sibley / Two Rivers over the last 20-some-odd years.
I gotta tell you, I'm getting flashback nightmares.
Of Culver's?
Of Culver's, yes, of course. Of Culver's. They're savory Butterburgers. They just give me nightmares in the best way possible.
Oh, my goodness, don't they ever.
From savory Butterburgers to sweet scoops of frozen custard, we've got something handcrafted for everybody. You can visit us at our location next to Cub Foods in Hastings. And while that is true, I was going to say that 74 out there for the Warriors. Davin Claremont, 6'3", 350 pounds. He's given me flashback nightmares from that Chaska game where they had that gigantic guard that they were running behind.
Very much, very similar, but again, that's what Coach Orth has looked for years, the big road grading style of offensive linemen. If they're big, they can block, and that's always worked for the Sibley / Two Rivers squad over the past 20-25 years. Even got into the state tournament 10-12 years ago. Back to pass. Altavilla flushed out, will run. Flag comes in, and one of those big linemen are going to bring this football backwards even further here. So let's see what Dana will elect to do this time. 3rd down and 7, and he says we'll accept this one. So it'll be 3rd and 11, something like that here in a moment.
And that's why Altavilla is such a scary runner. He's not the biggest guy, 5'10", 180, but when he gets downhill, he is a missile, and he will sacrifice his body, as you saw there, to try to run through someone to get the first down. He did get the first down yardage, but obviously the penalty is going to negate that.
Yeah, Johnny Manziel, Baker Mayfield, like there's something like that that just gives me that, not just that, the confidence side of it, the way he plays the game. 5:59 to go, first half, second quarter. Man in motion to the far side. That's Cole Altavilla. Back to pass. Drew Altavilla right side. Gets a man, and Arredondo ran somebody over. That was Arnes, who just got left a pair of Two Rivers numbers on his blue jersey, and he's slow to get up, too. He'll have to watch some birds go in a circle up over his helmet as we take a peek at this one, but he needed to get there and make a play. But you got a big fella again running that football like Arredondo. We talked about him and his size. Well, it got back to about the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, sometimes you got to play within your frame.
Wait a minute. Oh, I did not see any flag at all roughing the passer. Well, if we got a replay of that hunt quick, see if I can, because I was not watching that one bit.
It was so out of the play.
I thought so too. Man,
but this goes to what you've been talking about, the avoidable penalties. We'll see it here.
Again, Altavilla was running, no, well, not really to the right. See, and we couldn't see the actual meet up with the quarterback, but man, I mean, nothing egregious.
It was
like
I
saw.
Two or three steps, but you got to know that there's no benefit to even doing anything to the quarterback in that situation. You got to play safe if you're the Raiders.
Didn't need to do it. Arredondo right side will gain 4.
It's like poking the bear. I mean, you could poke the bear and not face any repercussions, but why would you? Why would you even tempt?
Why take a chance of getting your finger bit off? I mean, the Raiders just got their finger bit off.
There's no other way to put it, and that was a pretty good defensive stand from the Raiders, and yet, they still got to be out here.
Little mistakes like last week. I mean, just little things that you correct them. It's a totally different game, and I know that's harder to say than do sometimes. There's a great defensive stack up there by the Hastings defense. Nowhere to run for Verdeja. And they're, again, like you talked about, they got a nice little stable, kind of that master lock combination, and whatever number comes out, throw them out there. As you take a look at a nice job. Raiders stack those linebackers up so nice and get a nice push up in there by Kaysen Esterby first. Another time we're mentioning Kaysen really playing well on the defensive side of the football for the Raiders. 4:15, clock running, second quarter, first half, approaching halftime on Homecoming 2025. Nick Tuckner alongside Owen Ely, and that's going to be an illegal motion penalty against, or a procedure penalty, I should say, whatever they're going to elect to call. And then there's a little bit of a fracas in the secondary that didn't produce a flag.
That's also...
It's a legal shift, I think, is what that's called.
Yeah. But even that stuff after the play is that you're, again, poking the bear, inviting the ref to come in and make a decision they probably don't want to make when you're getting too chippy.
Don't make the decision have to come from the official. Don't leave that up to him. Yeah, legal shift. So that's you can see on the outside. Now watch this, folks. When the receiver's breaking out, he never really resets it, well, really at all, because they both were going right at the same time. And he broke away from it well before the snap. So that, you have two guys moving like that, will provide an illegal shift. Now, if he's going back the other way, you still can't cover up the left tackle, because that, again, would be what we saw earlier in the penalty for the procedure. 3rd and 7. Raider defense out there, scooping up the running back, trying to throw him backwards, and they do. And Kaysen Esterby was first on the scene, joined by a posse of his friends, which included Arnes, Shadeko, and others. And that is a great defensive play by the boys. And again, a team gang-type tackle.
No question. But again, don't poke the bear and keep driving, keep driving tackle.
You're right.
You never know. Maybe there's a 5%, 10% chance they call a penalty, but you're so true about that there.
4th down. 4 to go for a first down. So this ain't necessarily an Altavilla sneak type of deal. He's going to go out of the shotgun. One receiver, short side right, 2 wide left, but cut up the slot if you want, because they didn't get outside the hash mark. So now we get a timeout, and I think Coach Orth wants another one.
It's going to be his last timeout.
I believe it is. Well, maybe Hastings called. We'll have to wait and see what Manny says here. But I think Tommy called it far side of the field. He was on the field first, so no, he says so that was an official timeout. Okay, because I think Tommy just wanted to talk to the official maybe to figure out, where the clock was or something similar before the fourth down play.
Well, and just kind of about this game in general, obviously two good coaches, two well-coached teams, but there's been a lot of penalties in this game on both sides. It's kind of been the story of the game here.
That's what slowed this game down. It's just been the penalty part. 3:12 to go, fourth down, and Altavilla scrambling left, puts up a deep ball, and he's overthrowing his man. Now, nobody touch anybody, please. Okay, Raiders take the football back. There is no laundry. You and I can both take a collective blue and gold breath as Hastings turns over the Two Rivers Warriors, and now you and I can really state the obvious with 3:04 to go. You got to score before you give the football back to Two Rivers to start the second half on homecoming. Big crowd, kids screaming everywhere, as you can hear to my right. We got to get them going here.
Yeah, that did not feel too good in the headset there, but yeah, you're totally right. It's good to see no pushing, no taunting, no anything. Let's just get this defensive possession over here. And now, like you said, really, I mean, especially at the high school level, I mean, these extra points matter. So you could take the lead, and that 1 point advantage, sometimes is a little more impactful than just the 1 point would suggest.
That's Owen Ely alongside me, Nick Tuckner, here for HCTV and Town Square Television's coverage of Minnesota high school football in Week 5. 13-7 Warriors. Handoff goes to Zach Shady-Shattuck out right side. 50, 40, 35, 30. Shady's gone! Touchdown Raiders! 65 yards, and Shady's second of the game. And that will get the Raider fans up and about.
What a run there from Shattuck, and so much needed here for Hastings. Gets the fans back into it. Not that they were ever out of it, but this you can see the vision. It's like he's got eyes on the back of his head because he just knows where to go. And any other running back, they get closed off. But his top line speed is just so great that you just give him an inch, and he'll inch his way past on the outside. I mean, total game breaker.
I'm sorry, fans. I'm not giggling to giggle. I'm giggling because I've never had so much fun watching a Raider running back play this game. And it just makes me so happy to watch 26 in that line and for Zach to be as excited for his line as he is to get those touchdowns. And look at this, just how they break it open up the middle. And that doesn't happen easy unless you're doing your job against a much bigger defensive line. And our little Raiders open that hole for that guy, Zach Shattuck, for his second long touchdown of the game. Well over 100 yards, over 1,000 of the season, calling 1,100 on the year really now. As we're at 2:53 to go here, first half, second quarter, and the excitement is all of a sudden back in the homecoming air, and the Raiders have the lead back at 14-13.
You've never had a better time. The audio equipment's never had a worse time. It's white knuckling as you're screaming. It's holding on, and you're taking it to the limits there. I mean, what a fun and special player.
Look at that guy.
Number
Yes, sir.
Is.
Yes, sir. 2-6. I love him. Oh my goodness. Just his personality alone just makes me happy. I mean, I saw him out selling the football discount cards earlier this season, and just out and about with his teammates, and just how he carries himself, just so polite and fun. 2:53 to go here. Here's the kickoff return. Flag comes in. Raiders will love this because now all of a sudden the penalties are all going the way of Two Rivers, and this is going to move them back, and they're going to have a long lawn to go down the field here once they get this, what I think to be hold or illegal use of hands, but I think it was more of a hold. Look at that, he had a hold of his arm right and just kind of wrapped around him. Yep. So that'll move back Two Rivers a little bit. And man, how nice would this be? Okay, you get a score to take the lead, and then you make a big defensive stop going into halftime, knowing your defense is going to come out and provide that same stop to start the second half. I mean, from going down the hill with that snowball to all of a sudden kind of building everything back up again, you kind of feel like everything's okay again, and it only took a couple plays to do it. That's just crazy how football is.
Well, this team is such a streaky team. I mean, when it's bad, it pours. When it's good, it's golden. I mean, it really is a team of momentum, and you hate that it's that way when it's bad, but you love when it's good like this. And like you're saying, yeah, they could really close out this first half and start out this second half in such a grand way.
Altavilla will hand off up the middle. Flancha finds room. He'll gain 6. Boy, he is so slippery. He makes me hold my breath once he does get through that first, the defensive line, if you will, and he gets to the linebackers. You hold your breath because you know this young man is only one step away from breaking one into the Walgreens parking lot.
Yeah, not quite at the level of a Shattuck, but
no,
definitely a weapon that you got to watch out for and account for.
I mean, Alvin Kamara was not Adrian Peterson, but I digress. You're still pretty good. Handoff right will get a first down, but also a chew of clock. Coach Orth only has one timeout left because that other one we thought was a timeout actually was an official timeout because Coach Orth wanted to know where the spot of the ball was on 4th down.
I'd say I always want to know where the spot is every play.
I think it might have been actually a position on the field, like it was on the right hash, because maybe he would have thought about kicking the football, but the way that extra point looked earlier, I don't know if field goals are in the playbook from that vicinity as the handoff to Flancha again. Man, he's finding 12, 13 yards here and there. We don't want to give him those. I mean, I know you want to play soft off a little bit just to make sure you're not going to give up the big play, but like we said, when Flancha gets into open space, you just can't give him any room to wiggle, and right there moves the chains again, and here's Two Rivers. All of a sudden, you still got 2 minutes. You're inside of 2 minutes. You could run the 2-minute drill here. You got time to do it, and you're only down a point, and you're at half midfield right now.
And for being 160 pounds, and you never really know how accurate that is when they put it on there, but he does not avoid contact.
He's solid, dude. He is really solid. The way he does not avoid contact in a good way. Arredondo, actually, Verdeja this time, and you tell me that was not a mission there. He was just like, I'm running as hard as I can to the sideline. Whoever gets in my way is going to pay. And Verdeja goes in like a bulldozer, and about 3 Raider defenders, as you watch here out the right side, Boardman, one of them, and Arnis, man, he is really tackling well on the edge, isn't he?
This is a very physical game. I mean, there's a lot of collision. Every other play, there's a major collision.
Verdeja, again, runs that right hash for a first down. We also approach about a minute, and I think Coach Orth's going to take his final timeout here. So with 1:02 to go, the thing is now is for Altavilla, who throws a pretty football, this is a little more doable to get one in the end zone here and take the lead. I mean, anything I just mentioned literally a minute ago in game clock could all be out the window if they find a way to score here as you look at this mess. St. Thomas in their usual spot. They need to move up to 6A sooner or later, for crying out loud. Apple Valley 2-2, Two Rivers 2-2, Raiders 2-2. Valley has the edge over Hastings, obviously, but then there's Two Rivers at the edge over Apple Valley. I mean, it is just a weird deal. And then there's Burnsville. Burnsville goes on and beats Two Rivers last week. So it's like, what is going on here?
Well, think about how compelling that section would be if St. Thomas was in 6A.
It'd be so fun.
Anybody could win it. And that is interesting, too. You know, we nearly saw 2 54-yard touchdown catches from Lagerman early within the first 2 minutes, but they've kind of neglected the deep passing game. It makes you wonder if that's going to make a return either here or maybe in the second half. But that's an interesting wrinkle that we haven't seen.
Lagerman also hasn't been on the field, though. That's been the thing. He hasn't even been on the field. So without him out there, you're making me think that maybe he's injured again. What a catch. That's one of the best catches you're going to see in high school football by Cole Altavilla. The Altavillas connect on one over the middle, get down to the 20, and he took a licking for all of his work here, but this is football 101, isn't it?
I think he gave a licking.
Yeah, he did. Yes, sure.
I mean, that's impressive. A one-handed catch, and you lay down the boomstick.
Landon Johnson is going to remember that one tomorrow morning. That was one heck of a truck. First down, and now, I mean, man, our worst nightmare here coming true slowly, but again, we're right at the red zone stripe at the 20. Raiders are up by 1 with that missed extra point from Two Rivers earlier tonight. Close, like we kind of thought. We thought it would be fairly high scoring. By no means did Owen and I come here saying it was going to be 9-7 like we have had in past games. But this is right around right. I mean, I thought it'd be, something like, 30-27 or something. We'd put up some points, but these two teams know each other so very much from over the years. And again, I'm still watching for Lagerman. He's not out there in the top 3 receiver bunch here. So
he's got his helmet on the sidelines.
Altavilla to pass. Throws one up right side. A little too much air on it. Heck of an effort up the far side, too. Young man also ended up losing his helmet there as Rory Schuler. Again, like we said, another one of those guys that they know how to play high school football. Played 2, 3, 4 years now. As Schuler will now check out. We'll see maybe Lagerman now will come back in here. Probably still in a spot where you can chew up some yards here. You got 47 seconds, but no timeouts here, too. That's the big thing. No timeouts for Coach Orth. And what do you do here? I mean, maybe some kind of an out where you can take a little chance if you have some room to wiggle to get down a little closer and step out of bounds. Altavilla back. Pressure coming from Hastings. And that was a very smart throw there by Altavilla, who was a dead duck. 3 Raiders were waiting there to take that ball back themselves, and he just chucked it down at the feet of his receiver because there's no way that Johnny Verdejo is going to do anything but get absolutely hammered right there by 3 Raiders.
Well, and sometimes that's just, being a high IQ player because, sometimes a gain of nothing is better than a loss of 18 or a turnover, or setting up 3rd and 28. I mean, sometimes you got to know your cards.
If you win the game, the cornerback does not matter about when it comes to your numbers. He will be so happy that his squad won the game. That's how QBs are programmed. Altavilla's pass slant, that hit the turf. That's incomplete. And Coach Strain was right there in the back pocket of the official to let him know that that's what he saw, and that's exactly what the official also saw. And like I said, Coach Strain let him know that's what he saw, and that was the case. We'll see here from kind of the backside, kind of the reverse angle, if you will, out left. And as we slow it down there, he still braced it against the turf. That was a heck of an effort, though.
Yeah, if it was a little more clear, that was a heck of an effort, too. I'm surprised they didn't go back to that sort of go/fade route they ran. They got the that 6'2" receiver out there, and you got 5'7", 5'8" corners out there.
And Schuler is back in now, that matchup you were alluding to. Back to pass, Altavilla, pressure, that's a hold! No flag on the play, and it's intercepted by, it's not. Off the hands of Carter Herman O'Brien in the end zone. It would have brought it out to the 20, but still on 4th down. It turns them over, and the Hastings Raiders get the football back with 32 seconds and 2 timeouts, by the way, too. And that's just good pressure. Boy, I thought that was a hold. He had his hands and his biscuits, and that one there thrown into the end zone. Oh.
Well, you wish it was called anyways, just in case, the receiver catches it and it's a touchdown, but luckily, an incomplete pass, nearly an interception there for Hastings. Now it's a little interesting because you do have Foss, who's been pretty statistically productive here.
Oh, they're going to kneel it?
That's disappointing to see.
Yeah, come on. Got 2 timeouts. We got a dude that can rip off an 85-yard touchdown run.
I don't know about you. That really kind of sours it a little. I know you have the lead going into halftime. I understand. You don't want to turn the ball over. But
I wanted to see a
is
chance.
Such a great.
That's a bummer on homecoming. I really would have liked to see the Raiders at 2 timeouts actually try to get at least something out of this. Instead, they're going to let the clock run out, and we'll take a look at some of the fun stuff that happened early on.
No, sure, yeah. And here's the first touchdown of the game. Zach Shattuck, 52 yards. That was within the first minute of the game, following a great kick return. Things are certainly looking Hastings' way. Then here's a 54-yard passing touchdown from Altavilla to Johnny Lagerman, wide open on the play there. That's all within the first 2 minutes of the game. And then here's that rollout from Altavilla, a 9-yard touchdown run. They would not make the extra point, so it would be 13-7 following that touchdown. And here's the 65-yard Zach Shattuck touchdown, the last score of the first half. They made the extra point. Obviously, that's where we got to this 14-13 equation, but you can just see the speed from Shattuck, just a total weapon here for Hastings.
A great effort by Christofferson, too, with a corner. He really ran back in there, tried to get a shot on Shattuck before he got into the end zone, but Shady pulled away in that long run. Really just kind of summarizes what the Raiders' offensive season has been thus far this year. Good offensive line play, great running back play. The receivers doing enough to help everybody else out, tie things together in the first half. The Raiders, the 14-13 lead here as we hit halftime. So it's going to be kind of fun here. They're going to have the homecoming festivities. The band's going to be out here, marching band, all this fun stuff. We got a percussion and all this. Oh, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a little bit longer, too. So we will be back as the clock started at 20 minutes and running. So we will take our halftime break, come back with more in just a little bit from Hastings McNamara Stadium at Todd Field. The score, Raiders 14, Warriors 13 at halftime on Hastings Community Television.
He gets the pin. What a move, what a goal! Oh, what a shot, scores! The Raiders, can they get the lift? Yes, they do.
Just snipes one.
Oh my God! And reaching up and making the play. It's over!
Looking to throw, and she's going to get the first down.
Gone! Touchdown, Raiders!
The United Heroes League mainly uses sports as a bridge to help military families stay active and engaged in their communities. We have over 40 professional teams that partner with us for free tickets and camps. We provide access to free sporting equipment.
UHL has provided us with a lot of equipment and a lot of gear that is otherwise sometimes hard to attain.
It's really cool. I get all this free stuff, and it's because of my great dad, who is a veteran.
UHL has been a great supporter, not just for our family, but for all the military families.
We're excited to see what the future holds. We can't wait to see where it goes.
But here is the difference for the class of 1990.
We went from Mom Pie Eagles to Alan Peck.
I know you're all excited about Y2K. You could lose power or party like it's 1999.
Hastings High School has been graduating seniors since the first commencement
Congratulations, class of 2023. Go Raiders!
Funding for community TV is in rapid decline, and HCTV will not survive without your help. Let your local representatives know that you support community TV. To learn more, visit savecommunitytv.com.
The 2025 Raiders Marching Band staff includes Directors Stanley Chandler and Thomas Winkler, percussion staff Josh Waltram and Thomas Walker, color guard staff Ray Scholar and Zach Anderson, music technicians Jake Volkman, additional staff Hannah Steele, and the 2025 drum major is Genevieve Menke, trumpet soloist is Samuel Vandenberg, accordion soloist is Ryan Winkler, and tin man soloist is Levi Burkhardt. Their 2025 production is titled Becoming the Tin Man. The team name of one almost made a medal. This show tells the story of a man named Nick Copper. He started out as a lumberjack, hopelessly in love, and ended up being first into a life made of king. Until, of course, he's found by a lost girl from Kansas. Movement 1, lead by Nick Copper. Movement 2 is falling in love. Movement 3 is the thirst. Movement 4 is becoming the king. Also part of our halftime entertainment this evening is from the Hastings dance team. The Hastings Football dance team is assembled with Hastings students grades 7 through 12 and is coached by Ellie Rhodes and choreographed by Taylor Wicks. The team would like to thank all of the team's sponsors, families, and friends for their support. Let's give them a warm welcome.
doesn't bother me because I just love to explore. Interviewing owners and lending a hand. I love to assist for as long as they can stand.
With over 300 passionate educators, our dedication to student success has never been stronger. These educators are more than teachers.
Let's paint the picture.
They are mentors who ignite curiosity and inspire a lifelong passion for learning. Our schools provide real-world experiences through cutting-edge programs in engineering and environmental science. At Hastings, we take pride in our blend of rigorous academics and enriching arts and athletic programs. These programs nourish our students' educational journey, enhancing their creativity and discipline and fostering skills that resonate throughout their academic and personal lives. This is Hastings Public Schools, where we care, we empower, and we achieve. Students are at the heart of all we do.
Who are we? We are artists. We are entertainers. We are storytellers. We are teachers. We keep you informed. We follow the action. Who are we? We are Hastings Community TV.
Hi, everybody. We are back at McNamara Stadium in Todd Field. Nick Tuckner, the mailman, Owen Ely, as we had wonderful performances by both the band and also our dancers. And a big shout out to Hastings Middle School's own Coach Taylor Pagel out there even performing with the gals tonight. I want to give a shout out to Coach Pagel anyway, because this week, of course, was homecoming week, and on Tuesday it was dress-up day, and for sports day or whatever it was, Coach Pagel, who also doubles as our first baseman and catcher for a 35-plus Hastings Hurricanes baseball team, he wore full uniform, complete with chest protector, shin guards, and even brought the mask with. Talk about a team player. Yes, that is Pags 100%, and not only that, the best dance dad in the entire world. No doubt about that. We welcome you back. Look at that. Look at those guys. They're pretty quiet compared to how they were in that first half early on. I mean, like we say, they always travel well. They're loud, rambunctious, no matter how big the crowd is. But they had stuff to cheer about for a while. Raiders kind of, again, got back. We talked about, Two Rivers lulling the Hastings Raiders asleep. I think the Raiders, towards the end of that first half, started to kind of take a page out of Two Rivers' book.
Oh, no question. I mean, you could kind of feel it in real time, shift over from the momentum being with Two Rivers to Hastings. And, this is the ultimate test here coming out of halftime. A long halftime, a lot of time to think, a lot of time to overthink. I don't know how much strategy actually gets talked about at halftime, but, if some of these penalties can get cleaned up, they certainly have the momentum going into half. We'll see if they can keep it here, but it's just a joyous week around here. Like you're saying, homecoming week is so special, and it's vital on many levels that the Raiders come out here and get a win here to start the second half of this game, but the second half of the season as well.
Coach Pagel coming back up to his seating area with a standing ovation from some fans, so obviously everybody else thought he did a terrific job. Look at those kids. Man, I miss that. There was nothing more fun than sitting in that sea of blue and gold on a Friday night, especially when it's this nice out. Fun weekend coming up. The dance tomorrow night. Kids, be good. Have fun. Uncle Tuck will be thinking about all of you, but enjoy. There'll be a lot of kids all dressed up in some pretty studly duds tomorrow. Probably the second coolest fun night time deal other than prom, I would think, homecoming. Or, pretty close to it.
Depends whether or not you're a sports-oriented person.
Yeah, I know some people, they don't necessarily like playing sports, but they love to watch them. As here is Two Rivers. They will return this one up the right side. Look out. Oh, my goodness, and he's gone. Well, that was fun.
And that one's going to come back as a flag on the play.
Rory Schuler gone, but he's going to come back to the 30 and then some. Two Rivers fans are excited.
Got to tell them not to waste their energy on this celebration here.
Dude, Christofferson can chuck with the best of them when it comes to getting into open spaces. My goodness. But that's coming back. I thought it was Rory Schuler, but I'm like, my goodness, the big, tall fella, he runs like a deer, but not like that. And that's coming back as you can hear Raider Nation in the background and the voice of Manny Hill letting everybody know that's coming back. And, I'll say it. That's a pretty big deal for Hastings because let's say that's how Two Rivers started. They get in the end zone like that. Talk about a giant kick to the pants if they find a way in the end zone there.
No, that's so true. And, when you have the ball offensively, you want to score, obviously. That's not any news. But it's doubly as lethal when you have to punt the ball away or get special teams involved because both for the Warriors and the Raiders, they're special teams. I mean, they're liable to take it to the house on any play. You really don't want to be kicking off. I mean, you'd like to be kicking off because it means you scored, but, I mean, this is an interesting battle to see take place here, special teams-wise.
Every special teams play seemingly has been meaningful in a way. I mean, even the kicks out of bounds, what are the Raiders going to do with it? Are they going to make them re-kick it? Are they going to take it some positive yards? Go kick it again, move them back. I mean, just the little chess games that are happening are kind of fun. Altavilla will hand off, and what a great play in the backfield by Hastings as they get a tag team tackle, and one of the wrestlers, why not on a tag team tackle? That's Beisel along with Barrett Boardman. And man, initial penetration there, but you get, that wasn't Boardman, that was actually 12. That was Grant Birkin, who's been fantastic on both sides this year. Actually, all three phases. Also a kickoff return touchdown at Jefferson.
Well, I was going to say, you were giving props to Adricula, and rightfully so, right? But Grant Birkin's kind of been a guy, all three phases, he's been an impact player this year.
He could make a college coach very happy, being able to do so many different things as a pass out right side, and then there's one of those big mamma jammas they're trying to block, but no room to roam for the weary, and that's going to bring up third down and fairly long here for Two Rivers as Hastings leads 14-13, and after we thought would be a headache to start the half on a kickoff return touchdown, it was nullified on a penalty, and now here on the screen, Raiders get right there, and again, you got to give credit when credit is due. Open field tackle by Carter Herman O'Brien. The kid's an animal on the outside, makes a big play, even though he's outsized.
I can't speak for Coach Walker, but I know that the nationally ranked Falcons, being an alum of the Falcons, I'd love to see some of these players play for River Falls.
I've gotten to know a couple of those young men who work over at Patax and Prescott. Tremendous young athletes, shot on the run, caught. That's a first down. Pass complete, left to Lamont Michaels right in front of the Raider bench, and just enough for a first down. Talk about threading a needle in the right spot where only his receiver can catch it. And again, off his body. How does he do that? Just a terrific moving quarterback is Altavilla.
I mean, there's levels to it. Many quarterbacks, can't really throw the ball. Some quarterbacks, they can roll out to their right and throw the ball. When you're rolling out to the left and making that throw, I mean, they can get a first down on any play, and it's not just a cliche. It's the reality that this Raiders defense is living in.
Watching Brett Favre spank us for so many years as a Vikings fan, and then finally playing with us, he was one that could always do it on the run. Pass there, that's caught up the middle of the field, down to the 25-yard line, and another great catch by Lamont Michaels, who's making some serious noise here in the second half. Big first down there, and a great completion. Altavilla showing his arm off again here, putting up this moon ball.
And maybe kept from being a touchdown, a sneaky little, as a defensive back, that's kind of the game you're playing, maybe a sneaky little hold there from Herman O'Brien, trying to make sure he doesn't get into too much open space. I mean, if you're going to get burned, what do you care about the holding penalty?
And the Raiders have been burned on a few penalties tonight, but mostly ones that they could help. Not really in the flow of the game stuff. They'll give up the middle this time. Couldn't tell which of the backs du jour took it here as Altavilla handed off for a gain of 4.5. Arredondo. The listed backs is Matty Hill, gain of 4, 9 minutes to play third quarter and a 14-13 Raider lead. But the Warriors are on the run.
And this is what I appreciate so much about the Two Rivers offense. They're just kind of whatever. Yeah. If you let them run the ball, they're fine doing that. If they're spaced downfield, they're fine with that. I mean, they're such an amorphous, a chameleon type of an offense where they can grind you out. They can get these big plays. I mean, however they get it done is how they get it done.
Pass in the flat right side. Little gain, and like we talked about earlier, they're not afraid to throw the short passes for short gains as long as they're gains. Positive yards is huge. I mean, with Hastings, you'll see it. Hey, we can give it to Zach Shattuck, and on a 3rd and 8, he's going to get a first down somehow, some way. Well, these guys are like, you know what? If they're going to give us 4 yards, let's take the 4 yards. I mean, it's better to move backwards. And that kind of a game, like we've seen in the past from Two Rivers, can catch a team off guard and, again, lull you to sleep. And you don't want to see that on homecoming. Here's a handoff right side. Freeing up space off the right side, Arredondo, but he freed up about 2 yards, and that's it. 4th down. And it's 4th and short, probably about 4th and 2, maybe? Like right at 2 yards. So they're inside the 20. Call the ball spotted on the right hash, 19-yard line. Big play for the Raider defense here. It'd be fun to make a statement and get that ball back again. They've done it a couple times tonight. This one 4th, and we'll say an even 2. Shotgun. Okay, now 4th and short, I'm not a fan of shotgun stuff. Raiders kind of showing pressure. They'll hand off Arredondo, gets around the first man, carries another one down about 10 more yards. First down, my goodness. Arredondo, maybe his best run tonight, just churning and chugging and moving those legs. And from 4th to first down, now inside the red zone with a new set of downs as Arredondo bounces off a couple of Raiders, pinballs off right side. Needed about 3 guys to bring him down, quick to the line. Call it again under center is Altavilla. Handoff this time, Arredondo, 3 more.
It's what makes it so difficult. You know, when you're a defense, you can't just have 3 good plays. You got to have 4 good plays in 4 down territory. And, you know, when it's 4 down territory, you just need to average 2.5 yards per play, which is nothing. And when they're, you know, getting 6 yards a carry, when they're getting, you know, these 18-yard passes on 3rd and long, it's really, really hard to stop a team like this, even with 4 downs.
And you know right now that Coach Orth is already starting to think about the clock. Even in the 3rd quarter with 6:18 to go, you score here and you put the pressure right back on Hastings. And on the run, Altavilla, he looks like he wants to go to the house, and he will. He'll get in from 8 yards out. On a rushing touchdown, Warriors back on top now, 19-14.
8-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, again, this offense, just whatever you give them, they'll take it, and that's resulted in the 2 Altavilla touchdowns on those rollouts. I mean, he's looking to pass, obviously, but, you know, he's seeing where everybody's spaced out, and, you know, 2 rushing touchdowns for him. Again, some teams, whether they're good or bad, they just run the offense that they have, and there's no variation. You know, Elk River, all they run is the T formation, but they're competing for state championships. Good, bad, or indifferent, they are always going to run that. But this team, it's kind of masterful to see.
Two Rivers will go for 2. 19-14, 6:06 to go, 3rd quarter from Todd Field. Week 5. Altavilla, quick pass. Threw it kind of behind his man who slipped. Raiders catch a break there. So you lose an extra point. You lose 2. You're down with -3 points, if you will, right? So we'll see how those missed special teams plays could factor into a close Raider game here again tonight at homecoming, as we'll kind of take a peek at Altavilla, who was on a shotgun. We're having some technical video goofiness here, but either way, into the end zone. Two Rivers, and the Warriors have the lead back now at 19-14.
Well, it's kind of interesting because, you know, you think the 3 points would matter, and it certainly might.
Yeah.
But when you're going back, trading back and forth touchdowns, it really might not play that much of a, because we were talking during halftime, that there's probably not going to be too many field goals kicked in this game. So I mean, it's probably going to be touchdowns back and forth.
And the way these two teams play, could be the team with the ball last that kind of controls the destiny of who wins this game. More games often than not between these two teams, that's exactly what happens. Short kick. Carter Herman O'Brien will take it at the 12, 20, 25, cuts back, 30, 35, to the 40, 45, taken down, another great return, late flag, and the Raiders think it's on them, but I don't know, I think if anything it's a late hit against Two Rivers. This might be added on to the play.
I would hate to be the special teams coordinators for both teams. I mean, they are just getting carved up here on both sides. We'll see. Looks like that was sideline warning. All right, so no flag, no penalty for the flag. That's more to tell the coaches, all right, boys, stay back on the spot to which you're supposed to be. Otherwise, next time it will be a penalty, and I'm really honestly not sure if it's a 5, 10, 15, whatever it is. If it's a procedure penalty, I'm not sure how they call that. I've actually not seen that. Raiders will go single back. That's Shattuck. All four men in motion from right to left, now set. And here's the handoff from Hansen to Shady Shattuck, midfield. 45, and he'll be short of a first down by 2 yards, maybe a yard and a half. But a good first down run nonetheless. That's exactly the Raiders got to continue to think here is, hey, let's keep chipping away first down. Get positive yards, just like Two Rivers is doing, and trying to take that page back out of their book again, as each team has seemingly done that to each other all game. Yeah, and that would totally be something. That would be something if they got a penalty from the sidelines with the way all these penalties have been going. But they're driving here.
And off left again. Raiders will move that whole line across to the left side. Pitch out to Shattuck, makes the first man miss. Shady will have a first down to the 40, maybe got a little extra depending on the spot. But either way, that is a Hastings first down. So move the chains.
5 on the plate, and that's enough for our Hastings Raiders first down.
Well, you talk about Coach Orth and thinking about the time here, but if you're driving down the field here, obviously you got the entire fourth quarter to go, but it's kind of hard to control the pace of the game when you have a home run hitter like Shattuck. But
the Warriors this year also added Bruce Carpenter as an assistant head coach, which is kind of fun for the Warriors. Little screen out to Shady, 30. Taken down by a horse collar. That's not a flag, I guess. Okay, Raiders maybe thought so. Not going to get one, but it's a first down anyway, and Zach doesn't care because the chains will move again. And he continues to carry, literally, the Raiders on his back and legs. He didn't get a I don't like it, but I'm a Raider.
There's been a couple of questionable calls here tonight.
Or no calls.
We'll have that too.
5:09 to go. Gophers get Rutgers this weekend on Saturday. Isn't it a night game? Is it a night game this weekend? I don't know if it is or not. I have to double check that next break. Back to pass. Hansen rolls out right side. Has a man. He has it. It's Lundstrom. And he's pushed out of bounds right around the 10. So first down again. Hastings move the chains. And boy, this Raider offense has become extremely efficient on this drive.
Well, it's so good to see this play work out because we've seen a handful of incomplete passes and an interception when they've tried that very same play. But it's good to know that, yes, it can work. And, we can add it to the offense and we can supplement what Shattuck's doing on the ground with some air attack here.
You free up just a couple of inches with the danger that Shattuck brings, and those short passes can become headaches very quickly for a defense. And Hansen this time will hand to Shady, 10, 7 or so, where he's taken down. Gain of about 5, some late whistles, some pushing and shoving. Hansen a quarterback. He's got to have a little swagger, drawing some words from the guys in gold helmets.
Yeah, both teams got to be careful here. I think that was Shadeko and somebody there for two Rivers who are getting into it after the play, fighting over.
You get some
over
leaders.
Shattuck.
Yeah, some leaders getting together, saying, "All right, nice tackle, but stay off my buddy." Hastings comes out, call it the 8. 2nd and 6 can get a first down without scoring, but let's get in the end zone. Raiders down 5 and 19-14, 4:09 to go. And there's the handoff to Shady, out right side again, down to the 5 this time. Pushed back, might have gotten a yard or 2 or 3, pending forward progress. Looks like he'll be just outside the 5.
Yeah, that's the trouble running to the short side when you're on the hashes. Shady. I mean, he is very shady, but I mean, there is the reality of running out of space there, and you can see there's too many Warriors in that area to go to the outside, to cut to the inside. You just kind of run into somebody no matter where you go.
And that's where those big bricks they have on the defensive line, I mean, they pay dividends at these spots, especially with the 10 in, like we're seeing here, 3rd and 4. Big play for Hastings offensively. Get the first down at least here, boys. Pitch out left, Shattuck. Finds a nice block there as Shady cuts back to the middle. He's very close to a first down.
And they're going to spot him short.
They are. Yep. No, this is where you just lean on your guys. All right, 4th down, you're that far deep. You getting kicking a field goal here. No, you plow ahead with your quarterback. I know he's not built like the young man we saw from Chaska, 6'7", 220, but he's a tough dude, and Hansen has a pretty darn good back. Well, 2 of them. He's got Birkin off the left offset. 4th down and 1. And Shattuck in close to the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders! Shady sneaks it across the goal line for his 3rd rushing touchdown today. And the Raiders retake the lead at 20-19.
14th rushing touchdown on the season, and Shattuck is feeling it there. He's kind of holding his knee, kind of holding his ribs. There, definitely took a hit, just like Altavilla took when he ran in for that first rushing touchdown. We'll take another look at the play here. It looks like we got a good angle, and yeah, there's not a lot of...
Shadeko, man, he plays so much bigger than his listed height and body that you cannot teach heart, and 50 has so much.
You can't teach leverage either.
No. We're going for 2. Hansen. Nope, fake to Shady. Throw it. He's got Lundstrom. Caleb in. I should say Carter in for a touchdown. A 2-point conversion, I'm sorry. 6'1", 180. Also one whale of a pitcher on the baseball field. There we go, up 3. And hey, those 3 points, like we talked about, starting to weigh in a little bit.
I think if they were at the 4-yard line, they would not kick a game-winning field goal. I think they probably would go for it, but it's good to be up by a field goal. You see the fans celebrating there with the push-up for all the points that they're scoring there, and now things are really starting. There we see it. Things are really starting to go the way of the blue and gold here.
Raiders fans decked out in their blue and gold all day, all the elementary, middle schools, the high school. So much fun today with so much pageantry and just fun homecoming stuff that happened. And like I said, the dance tomorrow is just so much fun for the kids, and they don't have to worry about going home after the game, showering, trying to get back to the school, the whole thing. That was such a great move a few years ago that the Hastings High School went about, is moving it to Saturday night. And so many kids are just excited for tomorrow. So again, have fun, Raiders. You celebrate homecoming, and this one's going to be rolling to the 8-yard line. That'll be taken up right side to the middle by Mancha. Breaks the tackle, but that's it. One tackle is broken, and then he gets throttled at the 20. Raiders and Peyton Persky on special teams, one of our sophomores in there to make the play.
Well, normally starting at the 20 is not so bad, but when we've had all these drives start at the 40, the 45, I mean,
huge.
This is huge for the Raiders defense.
Yep. Make a couple stops now. Going for it on 4th and 3 from your own 30 is a heck of a lot different than going for it on 4th and 3 from your 30. You know what I mean? It's just you push them back, make them go the field. That's Raider football on his best. Altavilla shotgun, rolls right. Strong side, throw caught at the 25. Tackle made by Arnis. on the catch on the far side. And that, again, is Lamont Michaels, who's having a pretty good game for himself tonight. As Altavilla showing here, out of the gun, getting on the run, Johnny Manziel-esque, and right there, nice strong arm throw. And again, not very long, but they'll take that positive yardage. They just haven't been getting from guys like Arredondo here in the game on first down.
And maybe not as good as the stats would say. You know, he's got the 3 interceptions on the season, but they all came in the first game. I mean, you factor that in, he's been doing really good these last 3 games.
Oh, my goodness. Grant Birkin joined by Johnson. And that was just textbook defense, 77-2 for the Raiders. And that is Gabriel Durham. Gabe came in and just plowed himself through there. I mean, he had 3 Raiders. Look at that. Just swallowing him whole, throwing him backwards. And now big play here for Two Rivers that could really put them behind the 8 ball, really start to force them to maybe do some uncomfortable things, whether it be offensively or defensively. Raiders show blitz. Boardman up along the line. And they got him in the backfield. What a play by Hastings. Shady Shattuck. He might be the best running back in the state of Minnesota, but he shows why he can also get in there defensively. And he shuts him down. It's 4th down, and now you kind of think you have to punt here.
Yeah, what a great tackle there. You know, he got burned on the first touchdown of the game on that Lagerman touchdown, but he's been spot on, obviously offensively, but defensively as well. And just you know, so much of the Raiders is gang tackling. You don't even need it in that situation. Just wrapped him up like Antoine Winfield.
Man, this Raider gang, I'll tell you what. How's his number? It's a good one. That's his number, too.
Thank you.
30 seconds left, 3rd quarter. 4th down and 2. Big play for Hastings as they go for it. There's Two Rivers, and I don't think they got it. Nuh-uh. Get that stuff out of here. Get that out of here. Attaboy, Raiders. Braden Thompson, who has stepped into the starting tight end role offensively, makes a huge defensive play, no gain. And look at the Raiders have a short field and a chance to build a little bit of distance here. What a great play by Hastings as that first penetration by Grant Birkin.
And I like Birkin pulling him back, because sometimes your instinct is to tackle him, but you could tackle him forward. You got to pull him back in short yardage. And you get so nervous on those 4th downs because they've been burned a little bit on the 4th downs. You got to, you know, like we've been saying, you can't just have 3 good plays. You need 4. Well, they had 4 right there, and now they're set up to go up by 2 possessions if they can get in the end zone here.
And I'm going to tell you what, Owen, not having Lagerman offensively has really taken the steam out of the Two Rivers offense.
It shrunk the field for them drastically.
Hansen will throw it up. He throws up a little bit of a quacker. Off hands in the end zone looking for Hagen. And that'll be 2nd down. Hagen has run some really crisp routes tonight, whether it be short, long, intermediate. He has really done a nice job on the outside. Matt Foss has had a lot of coverage in his face tonight. And trying to find a way to get somebody else involved to get points on the board is very important. And Hansen just missed him there. Kind of threw it off his back foot. Handoff here to Shady. Up the middle he goes. He'll gain 5, and then, like you talked about earlier, tackling him forward. Shady got pushed by some of his own guys, but also thrown ahead by Two Rivers, and that's a gain of about 6. And big props there to big number 70, Jaden Bender, 6'3", 225, pulling Shady up after he got done with his run, slapped him on the backside and said, "Hey, buddy, let's do it again. Nice run." Love it. And that's it for the 3rd quarter. The Raiders have the lead, folks. 12 minutes more to get through here on homecoming Friday night, 2025. 22-19 Hastings. They have the ball deep inside Two Rivers territory. We'll have that for you right after this on Hastings Community Television.
He gets the pin. What a move, what a goal! Oh, what a shot, scores! The Raiders, can they get the lift? Yes, they do.
Just snipes one.
Oh my God!
and reaching up and making the play. It's moving. It is over.
Looking to throw, and she's going to get the first down.
One touchdown Raiders.
Excitement and then some on Homecoming Friday in Hastings. Just a beautiful night. It's going to be a tremendous weekend. Hopefully you and yours get out, do a little fishing, enjoy this warm weather, maybe get that one last sunburn. And here is a handoff. Shady out right side. Great first burst, and that's enough to get him the first down. You know, as soon as he shifted and he got upfield a little bit, you know he had enough to at least find the sticks. Shady with a great run again. And again, that really, more than anything, the alert way that he runs the football. He knew where he was. He finds enough of the first down. Great run by a young high school running back.
I mean, it's like watching Adrian Peterson in his prime, where you just go, anytime he gets a carry, you're just like, this is going to be a house call. You're waiting for a house call. Because you know the big play is right around the corner.
You couldn't have said it any better. I mean, you really legitimately have a chance to go to the house. And he played 26 touches it. 4 men in motion, all to the left from the right. Raiders are working the right hash short side of the field. And now they come to the long side with plenty of room for Shady out left. To the 15, to the 10, to the 5, to the 3. And he's pushed out of bounds there. First down Raiders again. So you got a first down inside the 5 and a chance to really put the screws to one of your biggest rivals.
Yeah, you would feel you got to get in the end zone first. You know, this is a bend but don't break. Two Rivers defense this year, but I mean, that would be a real feather in your cap to go up 2 possessions. It doesn't seem like there's going to be too many possessions, you know, for the remainder of this game. So
the Raider defense can just continue to do what they've been doing the last, 15 minutes of game clock. My goodness. Raiders are moving everywhere. Please reset. They do. Well done. On the motion, handoff Shady to the 5, to the 3, to the 2, to the 1. He's short by a half a yard. All right. Raider fans wanted to go crazy. Look at it. We got the Hastings flag down here trying to run already. Maybe getting some early push-ups in. Not quite there. Just held out. And Shady, oh boy. Oh my, was that elbow close or what? Great job there by our camera crew here at HCTV to see that one. It was right on the doorstep.
I think that was the correct call there, but man, if his elbow was just a little pointier, I think he would have been in.
He'll tank the muscle on his elbows more than the pointy elbows, as this time elbows are not. From the 2, he gets thrown backwards, and that's a whale of a defensive effort by a tough, stout defensive line and linebacker crew of this Warriors team.
I mean, an underrated game. I mean, obviously we know he's such a good runner to the outside, especially, you know, we've seen so many touchdowns in the red zone where he's just getting up to full speed and cutting to the outside. But, I mean, he scored that touchdown earlier going right up the middle, right through contact. I mean, he really is an all-around runner. He's not a bruiser. He's not a speedster. I mean, he's everything all in one.
Watch Elliott Hagan here. Guys will move in motion. They're working near hash on the short side of the field, but they all move to the right. It is a pitch out, and Shady is outside to the 5. Nope. It's going to be 4th and right outside again. Boy, you and I have talked for so many games this year already. You know, every time you think, well, you can at least get 2, it becomes a little easier said than done, buddy, doesn't it? But it's inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, it's a tricky spot. I mean, you're obviously not going to kick a field goal here. The good thing is, even if you don't get it, you put 2 Rivers so far back.
I'm okay with this, yeah. No matter what happens here, I mean, like you said, you want the touchdown, obviously, but if you give them 99 yards to have to go, I have some faith that our defense will get a job done sooner or later on that drive. I formation now, Grant Burke in the up back. And he will yield to Shattuck outside left. He's to the end zone for a touchdown, his 4th of the game. Touchdown Raiders. And Hastings, their biggest lead of the game. It's now at 9 at 28-19.
And that's what I'm talking about. He can get to the outside even when you think you have him contained, which I'm sure this defender thought he did. He's so masterful at knowing exactly what he can and can't do. He knows there's enough space to go to the outside, and that results in, like you said, his 4th rushing touchdown of the game.
Extra point try from Weber, kicking it towards Walgreens. Snap, good. Spot, decent. Flag, no kick. Offsides against the bad guys. Coach says we still want one.
There's really not too much of an advantage to going for two, other than you put 2 additional points on the board, but there's really not a reason to.
Then you're going to force them to at least make a field goal to tie. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, well, go ahead. Weber will get a yard closer on his extra point try. Snap good, spot good, kick is up, and that's got enough, and it's through. Raiders have the lead at 10 now, 29-19. And the Raiders' biggest lead of their homecoming game here in Week 5. And the Raiders just seem to have a little bit of control now. You and I both said kind of a sloppy, weird first half. Nobody had control of the game. This is the first time tonight that I actually, O-Dog, have felt that we have a semblance of, okay, we have control of the game finally, and you love to see that as you have 8:40 to go in the game.
Yeah, we got some more push-ups
those
there.
Studs.
They're running up the score, running up the push-ups there. But you're totally right. I mean, it would be a collapse on Hastings' part to lose this game. It would have to be Two Rivers not only going out and winning the game, but also the Raiders doing some things, whether it's penalties or turning the ball over, which are possible. But they've really kind of cleaned up the penalties as the game has gone on. Like you said, I mean, they've returned to Hastings football. It didn't really feel like Hastings football in the first half, but as it's gone on, this is more the Raiders football we know and love.
Even with 8:40 to go in regulation, Mailman, I still feel that if the Raiders get the football back without Two Rivers scoring here, they probably have the game. I mean, honestly, I think they have to score here. And here's the return up the left side to the 25 to the 32, maybe, where he's taken down on the return for Two Rivers and Flancha. 8:34 to go, regulation, 29-19. Raiders have their biggest lead of the game by 10. As you look at Shady, man, he just sometimes when he's in space, even if somebody is a yard away from him, he makes it look so easy breaking away from that particular tackler.
And what's the beauty about that too is you talk about contain and the defender being to the outside, but if that defender was 1 yard further to the outside, he would just cut to the inside.
That's exactly.
He'll beat you anyway.
His cutting ability, Owen, honestly, in high school football as a junior, we saw last year in sophomore season too, it's second to none. There's not many kids that can do that. It is so hard to do what he does on turf, not always that easy to cut. And the way he does it, he looks like an NFL player. And I'm not saying that just giggling while I do. Is this one thrown kind of on a slant over the middle and just incomplete? As he was looking for Rory Schuler, who's made a couple big plays. And again, they've had some good receiving efforts here tonight, even without Lagerman. As we look here at Altavilla, more of a prototypical drop-back pass there, but over the middle. Again, look at all those Raiders just standing there waiting to make a play. The Raider defense knows where they have to be, and again, you have to attribute that to halftime changes that the coaches were able to make with the kids.
And if you're Two Rivers, you like the fact that he almost played kind of defensive and batted the ball down, because if he bats the ball up, there's 3 Raiders around who could have picked that off.
There's a chance, right? And there's another pass to Schuler, and he just can't handle it right now. The lights of the beer stube in his eyeballs.
It's enough to blind anybody.
Well, that or a heart steak, one of the two.
But it's so true. I mean, and this is the high school level. We're not privy to information, but
yes, we are.
Well,
speak for yourself.
Maybe not all the information, but just wondering. Lagerman was in the game. He was doing well. Right. Lagerman's out of the game. He's standing on the sideline with his helmet on, so you would think it's not an injury. I mean, it's an interesting development.
Obviously, with him being out for 4 weeks, he's not quite 100% ready to go maybe at the varsity level, so they're just trying to get him right. We're going to talk a little bit about one of our favorite places in town, the Schoolhouse.
Yeah, the Schoolhouse, from prom to weddings, let us suit your formal wear needs. The Schoolhouse, more information can be found at theschoolhouse.com/sewing.html.
If you're trying to get ready for this awesome homecoming dance tomorrow, could have went down to the Schoolhouse, make sure that the pants are fresh, ready to rock and roll, so you're not stepping on them the whole time when you're boogieing on the dance floor. They say cutting a rug. I don't think kids say that no more. I think that's I think cutting a rug's done. But the kids have some fun tomorrow night. We again hope the kids have fun, but also behave themselves. Not trying to dad you Raiders, you know that. But I'm old enough now that I can be their dad. Here's something to talk about, too. We want to save community TV, folks, with all sorts of, budget deficits, eliminations of programs, and things of that nature at the state and federal level. Of course, we need your help now saving community TV more than ever. Check out savecommunitytv.com for more information or consider leaving a donation at hastingstv.com/donate. Here's a screen pass incomplete just off the wickets. Again, I don't know if it's something on the ball, if it's popcorn on the sideline. I don't know, but all of a sudden, this sure-handed Sibley Two Rivers receiving corps has kind of gone to Butterfinger's way.
It's the slippery steam from the beer scoop. It's in the air.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It's something. The crowd's loving it. Every time they're dropping a pass, every time it's tipped, I mean, they're getting into it.
Letting them know whose house this is on homecoming. 4th down and 10. The play of the game right here for the Raider D, and Coach Strain says, I want a timeout too. And they want to get Shattuck on the field. He had something wrong with his helmet. And so Zach's going to come over here, unbutton the helmet a little bit, and adjust his shoe. But something Shattuck saw or was happening with 26, he motioned to the sideline, and the Raiders said, no, we want to have it right on 4th and 10. They call it timeout, and there's my spot across the street. Of course, nothing better than a Reuben for the game or afterwards.
Now let's see how quickly they can show my spot, the pirate ship.
You know. We didn't sleep. Last night would have probably been the best night of the year to sleep in that thing. Especially homecoming, they have the TV guys sleep and all the kids coming in and like being first in line to come in and seeing the TV guys in the pirate ship. I mean, come on, there's nothing better than that.
Can we have Mike take a hike in the pirate ship?
Dude, that's the next show. Take a hike, Mike, in the pirate ship with Tuck and the Mailman. Oh my gosh, we won't even be able to air half of the goofiness. Here's a snap. They're punting this one. That's a bad snap. That's a horrible punt. Takes a hop and a very nice bounce for Two Rivers. That thing could have been going out of bounds at Pete McGinnis's house, but it takes a hop that only Sibley could be happy with. But the Raiders will be happy with this as well because, like you and I just talked about, you make a defensive stop, up 10, now you have an opportunity to start running the clock out. You can play your football. The playbook's all in your hands now, and Two Rivers is going to have to match what you have, not the other way around like we did the first half.
I mean, the game, it's like you're saying, I mean, it's firmly in the Raiders' hands here, whether or not Shattuck breaks off a 57-yard, 67-yard touchdown here, or whether or not you take your time.
Is that a call? Is that a call? Is he going to the house here?
I'm manifesting it.
Okay, 5th touchdown coming up for Zach Shattuck, and this one's going to be a long run of 67 as soon as they hand it off to him.
6-7?
6-7. You and I are going to have to talk here in a minute because my son says that now all the time, and I have no clue what that means. And as all the Raider kids laugh at me as I say that, handoff to Shattuck, that doesn't go 67, but it is positive yards, and the clock will continue to run. And I think that's the most important thing here. Get first downs, control the clock. Get first downs, control the clock. It seems like a simple formula. I know that's not always easy to do on the field, but really, 10-point game, you just got to play Raider football like you talked about, and we've seen that the whole second half.
Just don't do anything stupid. No dumb penalties, which they've cleaned up. Certainly don't turn the ball over. Don't fumble or anything like that. But, I mean, this is within your purview here.
Get me to a Culver's Butterburger as fast as possible. This one's going to be on the Raiders. That's a procedure or a legal shift. I think it's a false start. Left the starting blocks early. 7:43 to go in regulation, we'll still say. I don't want to say the game quite yet. Two Rivers has more than an opportunity.
A false start against the Raiders and the 5-yard penalty.
Anybody's got an opportunity. I mean, just think about all the craziness late in the game and in the win in the season opener against New Prague. I mean, you couldn't write that game off until the last play of the game. I'm plain and simple. It was unbelievable. Raiders with motion everywhere. 1 to the right, 3 back to the left. Reset they do. Handoff Shady. 30. Bounces off a man to the original line of scrimmage. Gains 2 after that. So gain of about 7 will bring up 3rd and 8.
3rd down.
You know, that's the thing you can appreciate about Hastings football. You know, whether or not they're winning or losing, when you look at the game in its totality, I mean, it's anything but boring.
Oh,
there's always something.
I can go back the last 23 years of calling Raider football and just pull you something out in that realm that you just talked about in every game. Even the games back in the day of Cretan that weren't fun. Here's a screen pass, Shady. 40. Breaks midfield. 45 is where he goes out of bounds. He wanted a flag on that late. Even though he's got a lot of clout, I think even with the officials, they didn't give one there. No, they did, but that's actually going to be well, if it's roughing the passer, or is it a hold? The Raiders are thinking it's a hold, and that is exactly what it is. Well, that's a bummer.
Well, and that could be a drive killer. You could turn the you turn the ball over here to the Warriors. They go down and score and make it interesting. That's what you're trying to avoid in a situation like this. And penalties, you get such a tremendous effort here from Shattuck, but it's all for naught.
Now, I'm not a coach, and I'm not trying to prognosticate nor second guess what we will do here, but even in this situation, third and very long, you can probably run the football here because you don't want to pass, get an interception, a chance at a pick. You don't want to get into that, so you got to go a little more low percentage, I would think, here. And speaking of low percentage, we have a flag, and that's going to be against the Raiders too. So, yeah, really more than anything now, the Raiders keep backing themselves up to the point where they're going to want to start creating enough room to punt it out of our own zone. And that's going to go back even more. 5 more to be exact. Third and forever. Third from here to Prescott. How about that?
Well, and if you're writing up a comeback, this is how you would write it up for Two Rivers. I mean,
you stop it?
These are free yards that you're giving up. I mean, you gotta clean up these penalties. You hate to see it. If you're a Raiders fan, it's just every penalty you take is going right into the opponent's favor.
You Warrior fans that have listened to me on the radio side for double-digit years and then some, you guys all know I'm goofing, but not really. Pass, right? No, he's going to roll. Yeah, he's going to pass. He's got a man. It's Matty Foster's first catch of the night, and he's going to get damn... Oh, he got it, too! I think he got the first down! Are you kidding me? Talk about after being out of the game, not out of the game, but like just not being involved, and then to do that? That's senior leadership right there by Matthew Foss. Great catch, great after the run, breaks a couple tackles. Oh, that's great football, and that keeps the ball in the Raiders' hands. You and I just talking about, find enough room to punt it away. You got a first down out of that thing somehow? Talk about a kick to the giblets.
If you could look at game win probability, that's a huge swing right there and keeping it in your favor.
You just saw that line go up, 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 ESPN style, as the Raiders will gain 2 more. Shady, who's got to be close to 200 yards himself. Man, seeing Dick Craig's stat recaps after these games, and I just go, are you kidding?
He sent it in at like 1 in the morning because of the late end.
That guy, anybody that doesn't know our statistician Dick Craig, who's worked in so many different sports so many years, he is the absolute best, the best in the state, upper Midwest, for a high school statistician to be on like he is and to get those things done literally into the wee hours of the morning. We can't thank Dick enough for all he's done for us over the years. Here's a pitch out left side, and that's Shady. And he'll get another couple. And like I said, this is fine. If I was Coach Strain and Coach Cook down there, I'm going, yep, positive couple yards. Keep eating that clock. Warriors have 2 timeouts. Raiders have 2, which they will not be using anytime soon. And the Warriors and their coaching staff right now having to be patient with the play clock only at 25. The Raiders ticking off as much time as they can. Textbook high school football we're seeing right now in the 4th quarter by this Raider team.
Well, and there comes a point in games where time is more valuable than points, and we're starting to get into that equation for Two Rivers because you need time to do stuff. So, you're down 10, but there becomes a point of the game where time's more valuable than the points.
Hansen's going to run this one. That was a designed run, and he took a big pop. He gained 1.5 yards, but that really stung him. And now, speaking of stung, one of the Two Rivers players grabbing that lower ankle area, and that is one of their big fellas too. And Jaden Bender has been so good tonight, and that's the young man we were talking about earlier about his sportsmanship and how wonderful he was with our running back Shady Shattuck after a play. And you just hope that this young man is okay, because He is a leader on this team, and he gets up. There we go, on his own. Got a coach, couple trainers out there, but he looks like he's going to be okay. He might have got a little stinger there, and a lot of times, you get it, you feel it in that ankle or the back of the leg. You might think Achilles, so good deal there. Culver's of Hastings, we are going there after the game per usual as we get over to our Butter Burgers, and of course, don't forget their flavor of the day when it comes to their frozen custard. I tried their Orchard Peach the other day. I'm telling you, fans, if you guys get over to Culver's and you get to try that peach and the flavor of the day, you will not forget it when you have it. You'll make sure that you're there every time it comes out. So 4th down and 6. I think I'm going to get a patty melt tonight, though.
Can we get them to deliver it to the pirate ship, or do we need?
We can ask Josh. I wonder, Josh, if you're listening, can you deliver us a couple patty melts, some crinkle fries, and 2 root beers? That'd be wonderful. Is the Spoolhouse 2 from prom to weddings. Let us suit your formal wear needs. thespoolhouse.com/sewing.html.
I don't think we can get them to deliver.
Well, I wouldn't put it past them. I wouldn't put it past. We have a good in with those folks at the Spoolhouse. I'm just saying, we'll just leave it at that. We got a pretty good in. Nice punt. That's going to be roughing the kicker, and the return's not going to matter anyway. Another flag back there for a hold. Arnis is roughed, and it looks like the Two Rivers player actually got the worst of the wear. Raiders are probably going to keep the football now.
I was so concerned for Arnis because that's just a fantastic way to break your leg, having a player jump in at your...
Did you see Arnis coming off? He just did the Jefferson gritty coming after he drew a flag. Hey, if you're going to be able to do a gritty, hey, draw the flag late in the game when you have a chance to win on home. Hey, that's appropriate. That gritty's appropriate. I like it.
I mean, he's not just a special teams player, too.
No.
He's a cornerback as well. So
no, he's just a lowly punter. Trust me, I've been calling worse names, but this is going to give the Raiders the football still, I should say. So we'll keep playing and keep milking this clock with 3:54 to go on homecoming. And it's going to be a nice weekend for all of us in Raider Blue and Gold with the dance tomorrow. I know a lot of folks here today. I was coming into the field, and so many folks are taking out their boat, and I keep hearing these people saying, one last time. Are you kidding me? Have you seen the forecast, folks? I mean, they're talking about like 80 into next weekend. I mean, we're going to get another high school football game with this kind of weather. So yeah, get out there. If you're going to do some fishing, bring me with. The Tucker clan finally has a boat. I want to state that too. Thanks, Uncle Bill. But we have a boat, so that's also something that is going to get fun. Probably have to make Bubs drive the thing. He's probably better at it than I am. I couldn't even figure out how to set up my first iPhone. I've had Android my whole life, and I've been asking Bubs, dude, how do I do this? Dude, how do I do this? He also does the same when we go fishing. He shows me how to do it. So let's see what we can do here. 3:54 to go. We got a milk clock here on the farm. Raiders will take it. Shattuck, the first farmhand to work, and he'll gain about 4. Keep milking, boys. Keep milking till we hear the cowbells roll. Let's keep running that thing hard, chipping away, and Shattuck, he loves those pitches, man. For some reason, I think he sees everything so much better when he gets a quick look up the field before he even gets that football.
I mean, that's why he's so lethal on kick returns, too. I mean, every play's a good play for him, but yeah, you're right. These pitches are where he seems to have his most success.
Shaney, another terrific game for the junior. But the Raider line in this second half, the offensive line needs to be spoken of. Shady will get back to the line, and then he drags a guy. He might have got a yard out of that, actually.
You do have to credit this Two Rivers team, even though Shattuck's probably going to go for over 250 and he's got 4 touchdowns and all of that. It sounds disingenuous when I put it that way.
I know, but I knew what you meant.
But there have probably been more negative runs for Shattuck today than there have been in the entire season.
Right.
And that's a credit to Two Rivers. Even though he has been carving them, they have been getting to him behind the line of scrimmage. I mean, maybe 5 or 6 negative runs, which for Shattuck is unthinkable.
Hey, I'm going to tell you what. If guys like Corbin LaFleur, Ovi Embu, some of you guys out there are watching or listening right now, I want you to think back in your brain. And think about those games you played against Henry Sibley / Two Rivers, and how tough those games, when I talked to the kids on Saturday morning at Perkins, how they would always say, that game is always the toughest because they're so big and they're so physical. I've heard that every Saturday we played Henry Sibley after that game for 20 years, because that's how you talk about Elk River doing the wing T perfect, just running it to perfection until they get it right. Well, this is the same thing with this either Henry Sibley or Two Rivers team over the last 20 years. That's their calling card, and you can't teach size, can you? Oh, I mean, you just can't. When you got that size and you're so athletic, you're going to have good nights. And yeah, you do have to credit these guys, but I'm just going to keep saying about these kids up front for Hastings tonight. Undersized, undermatched, overmatched at times, I should say, but boy, they have not made it look that way. And that has to be a big story coming out of this game. The adjustments and then the defense, what they've been able to do, even without Lagerman in the game. Move some more guys around the line to kill some time on the play clock. Hansen will hand off Shady. Gets a nice little seam there. I think that's a flag that comes rushing in there too at the end. Chucked in for a hold, I'm sure, just from where that came in. And Shady's slow to get up. Or is that Shady? Who is that? Who is it slow to get up? Is it Burke? It was Shady. Okay. All right. Hey.
To go back to what you were saying, it's so. I think you see this the most at the high school level, and I think that's why it's so fun. You don't see it at the pro level. Sometimes you see it at the college level. But these coaches coach at these schools for a long time, and it is interesting to see how identities, stick together through the generations, of Two Rivers being a big team throughout the generations, of Hastings being, sound defensively or not being penalized, maybe as much as they have been tonight. But it's kind of cool to see those identities play out throughout the generations.
For so many years with Hastings playing against teams like Park Cottage Grove and Stillwater, and Bob Majeski for so many years running that option, that veer, and then guys like Doug Eckmark at Park that perfected that veer, even though they might not have had a great season or a great team that particular year. That's their identity. George Thole, same thing, runs that kind of veer option too. And when they'd match wits, whether it was Doug and George, or if it was George and it was Bob, and just seeing those coaches match wits like that is so satisfying for me as a football fan, to see how much they do put in to make sure our kids are in the right spot. Who's that on?
Well, it looks like that's going to go against Hastings. Yeah, right. 3rd and 19 all of a sudden.
Well, let's find Matt Foss here. He likes these spots. So.
Well, they've been bailed out on the long pass and on the roughing the punter, or running into the punter.
That's
so
right.
See if they can't pull something magical here.
Yeah, I can't forget about that play either, because we talked about the Raiders not being disciplined early. Well, guess what? That one might have cost them a chance to get back in this game, as the jet sweep to Hagen. He'll get down to about the 40, but that's 4th down. I just go for it here.
And that's probably the first time we've seen that go into positive territory, as we're getting attacked by the wind up here.
Yeah, where'd that come from all of a sudden? Kind of chilly wind, too.
Yeah, it's better than being attacked by the Hornets.
Oh, yeah, that was earlier. That was... I hate bees, okay, folks? I mean, there's not many things that I hate in life. One of them is bees, especially the weird hairy-legged things that fly around all slow, and I don't like those. Not a fan. I will not be joining Take a Hike Mike at the Beehive place, if that means anything to anybody. Raiders back to punt. Arnis. Nice high punt. That's fine. Takes a hop at the 20, to the 15, to the 10, picks it up, and he's going to be dropped at the 16-yard line. Nice punt by Arnis, first and foremost. Skied that thing, got the fellas down the field, and a minimal return. Special teams making another nice play that won't necessarily show up in the scorecards and in the paper tomorrow morning, but that's another play that just proves the Raiders have won this second half.
And it's why you always have to be alert, because I think some of the players thought, wow, it's just going to bounce out of bounds. But you got to. It's a live ball, and obviously the kick returner there for Two Rivers felt that way.
Raiders 242 from winning their homecoming game here in 2025. Altavilla out of the shotgun, one running back to his right in a quasi-pistol. Throws it on a slant to about the 22. Not sure where they're going to spot that. Looks like they're going to give him the 23. So Schuler makes the... It's party time. Raiders are going to win. That's right. Our kiddos are excited even with a couple minutes left in a 10-point game. Hey, that's how you take in a football game on homecoming. Pass over the middle, one-handed catch. No, that's off the hands, and boy, almost into Boardman's hands. And Barrett Boardman is just amped after making that play.
Yeah, might have been a little words from Easterby at the end of that one, circling around the receiver.
Yep.
Don't want to get called for a penalty, but there you can see he kind of wraps around the receiver there. But yeah, that was a big hit there. Wow.
Okay, you know what? I don't know why I'm just thinking of this now, but the Two Rivers uniforms kind of have a Florida State vibe to them, don't they?
Yeah, I was thinking Boston College.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Boston College. Yep.
Well, when you mentioned the red bandana, I was like, well, yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be fun tomorrow. All sorts of games tomorrow. Oh, off the fingertips, incomplete. Bring up fourth down and probably the game here. Gophers and Rutgers will face off against former Gopher quarterback Ethan Kaliamanis, who now is a senior. Some other big games will be happening throughout the day, and that's the best part when you don't have to work and everything. And you turn on literally every other channel, and it's college football. And it always seems to, you find a game, even if it's, Kent State and UTSA or something. Just something will happen that will draw you into it.
And it's from 11 all the way to those Pac-12 games, or those West Coast games.
Oh, those night games. Well, this week the Vikes play early, so I'm not going to be staying up for Pac-10. That's incomplete. And that's fourth down. That turns the ball over. That's Raider football, and that's going to be probably it for homecoming. As with 2:02 to go, Hastings offense will come out and hopefully wrap this one up and get us to Culver's for a patty melt and fries. And really celebrate in style on homecoming. Some of the Raider faithful now finally making. Look at these skirts, dude. How about shiny? Those are like. It's like hula skirt. What are those things that the cheerleader pom-poms? It's like pom-pom material, but it's super shiny, like sparkles all over the place. That'll draw attention.
The fans have been great tonight. I mean, I hope we can get a camera maybe on the Shattuck sign. There's like a professionally made Shattuck sign down there. They're not holding it up right now, but
they got the fam and then some here tonight. Been conversing with Matt and Patty on and off on social media this season. Just wonderful human beings, and the apple does not fall far from the trees. I can tell you that much. Timeout called here by Two Rivers with under 2 to play.
Well, and interesting. I guess you can't take the timeouts home with you. I'm sure the Raiders would have been content just to have a couple of kneel downs, but
gives them time to get our butter burgers ready at least.
Oh yeah, they're just delaying the inevitable.
Oh boy, folks, where's Take a Hike Mike? Is he around here somewhere? Is the Spool House open tomorrow? That's a question I kind of want to know, so I can tell some folks if you got a last second thing, maybe you can run down there tomorrow if you got to get ready for the dance, and you might lose a thread somewhere and need some help. Waiting for Take a Hike Mike to text me.
He'll get back to
Otherwise, he can't come hang out in the pirate ship with us as the Raiders with their phones, with the bright lights telling everybody bye-bye. And the Raider fans that are still here with giant smiles on their face. How about the soccer teams the other day, too? Coming out and putting up some goals. Sienna Sanchez, another gigantor game for Hastings up front. That kiddo, I'll tell you what. We've had some good girls soccer players in the past here. You look at what Bella Meyer is doing. She scored a hat trick last weekend for St. Thomas, and she's been spectacular. She was the woman of the match last weekend, and Bella we're not shocked, leading by example on the soccer field, even in college. And that young lady, after soccer's all done, she is going to have a bright future ahead of her. But in the more immediate future, Mailman, I'm just excited to see what the boys and girls are going to do here in playoffs, because either one of these teams, with a win here or there, it's really going to set up a fun run.
Oh, there's no question. It's been a great week for Hastings sports, and obviously this is the capstone on top.
Yes, sir.
A homecoming football victory.
So many smiles making their way. Matty Foss, first quarterback, a little smile. You know that there's nothing better than that feeling. Clock ticking down. You know, your student faithful, the girlfriends and buddies and stuff all hanging on you. Say, hey, we're going to wait for you because they all got to go on the field afterwards and celebrate as a unit. Clock running now as they get ready to kneel it down. Now out of timeouts, the Warriors with under 90 seconds to play. Birkin joins the fracas under center as Hansen will take another knee. And we'll have one more play and give Two Rivers the ball back with around a minute or so to go. Under a minute, I should say.
It'd be interesting to see how aggressive they want to get. Obviously, the game's over,
right?
But it'd be interesting to see how aggressive they want to play the final few seconds. I'm probably led to believe they might be a little aggressive given the use of their timeout in a situation like that.
You're very right. I'm going to say this, too, just because I know both coaches as well as I do, that neither one of them want to put, a dagger into someone's heart at this point of the game. I mean, there's no ill will ever between these two teams, no matter how big the game is. There's just so much respect between coaches Orth and Strain. As now Dana will take their second time out, 34 seconds left in this one, and then we'll all celebrate our homecoming all weekend with a blue and gold win, a bunch of wins this week.
Hopefully a win next week, too. That'll be on Town Square.
That's right.
Hastings is going to go to play St. Thomas on the road.
Ugh.
Unfortunately, we won't be covering that one, but it will be on Town Square. I'm told Hunter's going to be on the call.
Hunter is on the call.
There will be some sort of continuity going on there. And there's the pirate ship.
There's the pirate ship of Gridiron. Still got my hat at home, Pete Zach. I remember the first year we put it out there, we had the Gridiron hats made. That was fun.
Can we get can we get Arnis to do a gritty?
Oh, do a gritty on the Gridiron. That's a good question.
And
look at that stud muffin. I'm telling you that. Oh, he's like, well. He's telling us to do something, and we don't exactly know what. He can hear us, but we can't hear him. So we love you, Hunt, and all of our awesome camera people tonight. Again, some of those cool sideline shots. And now another running play will pretty much end, and I think this is going to do it here. I don't think Tommy's going to run another play either, and that's going to do it. I'm proud of my Raiders tonight. I am a Raider myself, so whenever you get a chance to win homecoming, that is just fantastic. And we're going to recap some touchdowns, some fun stuff here before we send it away. And they're going to have do the Raiders just go? It's a turnover on downs.
Yeah, we're going to have to run at least one more play here. It's good to be an honorary Raider, knowing
you're adopted.
Park started the season 0-3, so it's not going super hot.
No.
They got a tough game against their homecomings tonight, I believe, against Wyzetta. I don't know how that's going, but it's not been a great start up north.
Special hello to my favorite person in the world at Park, Phil Kimmel, longtime friend, athletic director, activities director du jour up there at Park. Can't wait to run into him again somewhere soon. Throwing it up here towards the end of the game. A big hit far side by guess who? Shady Shattuck breaking up the play with 23 seconds left. And Shady again, not just offensively, but I hope some folks give him a little pub for the defensive plays and limited snaps. Doing a little Coy Parrish tonight, playing both sides of the football and doing it darn well. And Shady, man, defensively, after that first touchdown, he's clamped it down.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably a better runner than he is a defensive back, but he's a great defensive back, a great two-way player.
He'll be talked about a lot, along with that offensive line that turned from boys to men in the second half and took this game over and asserted their will upon this Two Rivers team as this snap is going to go halfway into the Walgreens parking lot delay of game. And we're just preempting what will be a Raider victory and preventing us from getting our patty melts.
It feels like we're prolonging this game maybe a little longer than it actually should.
We have PlayStation to play tonight. I'm not teasing, actually. I'm pretty serious, to be honest. 22 seconds left. Dale's like, yeah, dude, Dad, get home. Come on, we got to play before I go to bed. Out of the shotgun one more time. Raider defense terrific here in the second half. And a little screen out left side. Trying to get out of bounds. Will. Third down. That's a late hit. Guys, come on. Control the controllables. There's no reason for that.
I was going to say, you're almost happy that they completed a pass because then, the clock could run, but he got out of bounds and, a little extracurricular out of bounds.
Shadeko goes over to the official and he's asking him about it. He said, oh, yeah, that's a penalty. He's trying to get his explanation. I don't think he likes the explanation. You don't always have to like the explanation your elders give you, but you better darn well respect it, and that's what we're going to get here. Yeah, there's no reason to do that stuff. Guys, come on.
Automatic first down for 2 Rivers.
Well, I think that Kaysen will watch the tape there later on and say, I probably shouldn't have did that. That's okay, though. Won't cost us a win. 16 seconds left in this one. The Raiders up on homecoming. 29-19. We'll go to 3-2 overall with St. Thomas on the docket next week. And that will be spectacular if the Raiders can go up there and just defy the odds. Since we've played St. Thomas, coming out of the old Suburban East Football Conference, this has been our foil. Long pass, put up at the end. Raiders trying for an interception, and this will be incomplete. Trying to get a pass interference, perhaps. 7 seconds to go, maybe one more play here. We'll take a peek now as Altavilla got to show off that arm. A lot of those Altavilla's baseball players up in that neck of the woods, too. I can't remember if Drew and Cole, but I think they both play baseball, if I'm not. I don't want to swear on that, but you folks out in Sibley / Two Rivers territory can comment on the feed here if you guys think you can help me out. But yeah, they got some good athletes, and a big props to those fellas. And I'm going to be pulling for Two Rivers here until they get into playoffs, and we'll see what happens thereafter. 7 seconds left. Back to pass, Altavilla, flushed out of the pocket. He's got plenty of room. Raiders playing kind of a dime format, throws it up deep. Raiders have guys there, and it's incomplete, and that's how the game's going to end tonight. As the Hastings Raiders, they come out on homecoming, and I'd be excited too, because our Raiders are back. After a tough couple of losses, one at home, one on the road, the Raiders bounce back into the win column, winning 29-19 against their rivals in high school football now, the Two Rivers Warriors. And again, a 10-point win for our Raiders. And boy, man, that's got to get us going here, because you know these kids all want to do something that not many kids in blue and gold have done. And if they play like they did here tonight, as we look at some of the recaps, this is how we do things. And Altavilla got things going here to start that second half.
Yeah, that was his second rushing touchdown of the game. They missed on the 2-point conversion there. And then there's the touchdown run from Shattuck. That was his third. Raiders were successful on a 2-point conversion, as we see right there. And then there's that final Shattuck touchdown to make it 29-19. Just a 1-yard touchdown. Ran a little more than 1 yard to get that 1-yarder, but what a dominant performance by Shattuck, and a great win for Hastings. Like we were saying in the pregame, I mean, it's the pivotal point. It's homecoming. You have to win it. It's the start of the second half. You know, you go 500 in the first half. How are you going to finish? And this is a great start for Hastings.
Big game next week. Hastings taking on St. Thomas Academy. Of course, all sorts of other fun coming up in Raiderland as well. Of course, here on HCTV, we'll have a bunch, including the big swim and dive matchup with a team that we used to battle in conference action. That's Eastridge, but they're also fantastic in these non-conference battles. That one coming up next week. And then, of course, the soccer doubleheader with Mata Medai. We know how big that matchup is for both the boys and the girls. Volleyball against St. Paul Harding. We're going to have that one as well right here on HCTV. And then volleyball or soccer, it all depends on how things go. If maybe the Raider boys can score a home game or a win in the first round, we'll be doing some of that. But just stay tuned, of course, to our social media channels. We have all sorts of updates and everything else. Hunter keeps everybody abreast of all the action, of course. I'll be here for some of it. O-Dog will be here for some of it. And we'll have a lot of fun here coming up over the next couple of weeks as we get towards the fall playoff season. Hunter Pinky, our producer and director tonight, always fantastic. Of course, O-Dog and myself, we always have fun here keeping you folks company for a couple of hours. Max Slocum, Ian Andrasak, Ben Brannon, Tori Sellner. Those are the guys that have been out there all night getting these great shots, whether in the crowd, on the field. Our kids, you guys are awesome. We appreciate you as well as all of everybody on both sides, whether it be Henry Sibley watching on Town Square TV or also here in Hastings, all my friends here on HCTV as well. And buddy, this was fun. This is what we needed. We knew we needed a win tonight, no matter how it happened. We just needed the victory. We got the victory tonight, but now it's on to a place where, like we said, it's a bugaboo. And if this team can find a way to go up there to St. Thomas, finally get that first win since we started playing them a little more regularly, I think that will set us up for one whale of a finish, especially with sectional seeding now. I mean, you talk about the Raiders finding a way to win. You find your way into a home game if you win that game. So things really get interesting as we head into next week.
Oh, there's no question. We saw how they stacked up against some of the top talent at the beginning of the year. Did not go the Raiders' way, but now we get another crack at it. And I think they're well equipped if they can play a consistent 4 quarters, which easier said than done, but if they can play a consistent 4 quarters, I like their chances to spring an upset there over in Mendota Heights.
Safe travels to you. Have a great week. You and I will match up again very soon. We know that. You're the best in the business when it comes to my right-hand man, and hopefully we get a chance to have some fun here in the future. And again, the final score tonight, Raiders win 29-19. They go to 3-2 on the season. Two Rivers down to 2-3 as this wacky section is still up in the air. Week to week, game to game, play to play. It's going to come down to it here in Section 3. That's it for us. For O-Dog, I am Tuck. We'll send it back to the HCTV studio, letting you know that the Raiders win tonight on Homecoming 2025. Final score 29-19. That's it for us. Thanks, folks. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.